We are live from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. It's the Ohio Valley Conference Championship between your Little Rock Trojans and the Eastern Illinois Panthers. Max Coltrane here with you on the call. Glad you're along. Boy, has Little Rock battled just to make it to this point. They dropped into the lower bracket on Thursday and have turned around to win 3 games in 3 days just to stay alive and make it to this point. The championship game, second straight trip to the championship for Little Rock after winning this tournament a season ago. They have their back still against the wall. They're going to have to win twice against Eastern Illinois if they want to make it back-to-back regionals. They've got to win here, and then they've got to win at 12 o'clock noon tomorrow. Eastern Illinois, a team that is well-rested. They've only played 2 games in this tournament. Little Rock having to run through the gauntlet of that lower bracket. They have gone now 4-1. So Little Rock, they arrived a day earlier than Eastern Illinois because Eastern Illinois is the 2 seed. They got the double bye, so they didn't play till Thursday. So not only did the Trojans get underway a day before Eastern Illinois, but now here on Saturday, they have played 3 more games than the Panthers. They also just knocked off the regular season champion SIUE Cougars, what feels like seconds ago, but was actually about an hour ago when that game went final. So now Little Rock having to turn around and beat the 2 seed Panthers here. Coaches are around home plate here with our umpiring crew, head coach Chris Curry and Little Rock in the third base dugout, and Eastern Illinois, the 2 seed, the lower seed on the first base side. They are the home team here this evening. Head coach Chris Curry back to the dugout, and head coach Jason Anderson for Eastern Illinois back to his dugout as well. Little Rock not changing up a thing. It's been the same 9 in their order ever since they arrived here in Marion, Illinois on Wednesday. And the arm here for Little Rock, the right-handed senior from Texarkana, Texas, 4th-year Trojan Malcolm Brown getting the start. It'll be just his second start of the season, 22nd appearance. He's 2-2 with a save and a 6.75 ERA in 24 innings of work. He's given up 24 hits, 18 earned runs, 9 walks, and 22 strikeouts. Coach Curry said he wanted to save Malcolm Brown, if at all possible, so that he could start this game because he pitched well against Eastern Illinois earlier in this season. He went 2 innings in relief, gave up just 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and he struck out 4 Panthers. That was April the 19th back at Gary Hogan Field. Little Rock swept Eastern Illinois earlier in this season back at the Hogue. They are going to need to beat them twice more if they want to keep their season alive and make a second straight regional. Arm on the mound for the Panthers is the right-handed grad student out of Rockford, Michigan, James Geschel, first-year Panther, 3rd school for him in his collegiate career as the Panthers take the field now. They're in the blue tops and white bottoms, blue socks, blue caps for Eastern Illinois. And Geschel here is getting, let's get the numbers to you here for James Geschel, a 4.47 ERA and a 4-3 record in 20 bullpen appearances. This is his first start of the season. He has 9 saves in 46 1/3 innings of work. He's given up 45 hits, 23 earned runs, 21 walks, and 48 strikeouts on the season for James Geschel. He's on the mound now throwing his warm-up pitches. He's got a fastball. It's 87 right now on the gun. He's got a slider, a changeup, and a curveball. But heavy dosage of the heater from Geschel is the scouting report on Eastern Illinois' right-hander. Defensively for the Panthers, around the outfield, Brett Stanley, Quade Peters, Ethan Rossi. Around the infield, Mike O'Connor, Peyton Wilson, Chris Worcester, and Tyler Castro at first, with Zach Goodwin behind the plate. This is an experienced Panthers team, lots of 3rd and 4th-year Panthers that have been together for a long time. They are led by Jason Anderson, the former big leaguer in his 10th year with the Panthers. One-time OVC regular season champion. That was last year. Also, one-time OVC tournament champion. That was back in 2023. So Panthers, they're experienced. They're an older group. They've been here before. This is a really tall task for Little Rock, fresh on the back of a victory over the 1 seed SIUE Cougars Little Rock, you like their chances if they can pick this one up and force that second game, that final game on Sunday. But backs to the wall here. How much does Little Rock have left in the tank? If you weren't along for the win over SIUE earlier here this afternoon, Trojans got the job done with the bats. They won 7-5. A couple of big flies getting the job done. Cooper Chaplin, a 2-run shot. Nico Bamba, a solo shot. And a clutch bullpen performance as Gage Haley went the distance. And then Tag Andrews put the finishing touches on the victory for Little Rock. Just about set to get underway here. Jordy Lopez, Little Rock's right-handed hitting shortstop, digging in. And the first pitch, he fouls out of play for strike one. Second straight season, Little Rock makes the Ohio Valley Conference Championship game, but they've got to win it twice here from the lower bracket this season. First appearance for James Geschel in this tournament. He gets a pop-up out of Jordy Lopez on the second pitch, out to shallow right center. Long run, and the right fielder, Ethan Rossi, gets over to it, calls off his second baseman, and makes the play. There's one down here in the top half of the first inning. That'll move things along here to Cade Smith, Little Rock's right-handed hitting center fielder from Searcy, Arkansas, former Harding Academy High School standout quarterback, former Harding Bison on the baseball diamond a season ago after he started his collegiate career at Arkansas with the Razorbacks in a redshirt freshman campaign. Cade Smith, he takes ball one upstairs. Geschel working out of the windup here. He'll throw another fastball, and Smith will foul it down the third base side, and it's 1-1. Smith, a .327 hitter, team best average. He's the only Trojan to appear in all 59 games now for Little Rock this season. He's got a team best 73 hits and a team high 44 runs driven in. And that one's right back up the middle past the diving glove of the shortstop, Peyton Wilson. And it's into center field. Cade Smith with a 1-out single, and he gets himself aboard here. Little Rock, a 1-out base runner now for Nolan Friend, their right-handed hitting third baseman. Digging in, a .320 hitter on the season, his first year at the Division I level. In 200 at-bats, he has 8 doubles, 8 homers, and 37 driven in. Geschel's first pitch, slider, 80 on the outside corner for strike one. Alex Ransom, the home plate umpire. Ben Levins at first, Bo Whitaker at second, John White at third, and Tom Swoboda is on the pitch clock here in this Game 1 championship game. Nolan Friend on the 0-1, fouls off a 79-mile-an-hour breaking pitch. Little Rock a little deeper into their bullpen now. They only had to go to 3 bullpen arms in their first 4 games in this tournament. It's a big reason why they've been able to make it this far. Now it's all hands on deck. Friend going to have to beat out a double play ball here. 4-6 up the middle, throw over to first, and it's a double play. 4-6-3, and the Panthers get out of things. Little Rock get a base runner on a single for Cade Smith, but they strand him. And we'll get our first look at Malcolm Brown on the hill for the Trojans when we return. Back here at Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois, your Little Rock Trojans scoreless with the Eastern Illinois Panthers headed to the home half of the first. Trojans just got done with the number 1 seed SIUE Cougars to stay alive. They've got to win 2 in 1 day to keep their season alive and force a winner-take-all game 2 of this championship series tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon to finish things. Arm out there for Little Rock. Malcolm Brown with the ball. The man who had one of the most historic postseason outings in Little Rock baseball history on June the 1st of last year. He came out of the bullpen against the LSU Tigers, went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts on his way to a save against the eventual national champions. One of the best storylines around college baseball at that time. That save was recorded on Malcolm Brown's son Miles' first birthday, June the 1st of last season. First pitch on the ground to third base. Nolan Friend has it over to first, and it's in time. Brett Stanley, the right-handed hitting left fielder, is set down, and Malcolm Brown's outing is underway with a nice 5-3 ground out, 1 down in the home half of the first. That'll move things along here to James Love, the designated hitter, a right-handed bat, sophomore out of Joliet, Illinois. He is the lone non-senior or graduate student in this lineup for the Panthers. It is all a bunch of older guys except for Love, the sophomore, second-year Panther. Love, a .318 hitter, 18 doubles, 8 homers, 45 RBIs, and nearly as many walks as strikeouts, 35 free passes, and 36 Ks. That one's on the ground left side, and he's out in front of it. A quick 0-2 count. Malcolm Brown, heavy dosage of breaking balls. I would say the best pitch for Brown is the changeup. He's got a fastball, a changeup, and a slider, but he really gets a ton of spin on the changeup. He'll throw it a ton against righties or lefties. He likes that one against anybody. He's ahead 0-2 here on James Love, and he fires one upstairs, 89 on the heater, 1-2 now to James Love. Malcolm Brown, historically, he has been made for these type of moments. The guy who you want on the hill in this spot for Little Rock with their bullpen wavering, and he sits down. James Love looking. Gets him with the slider at 83 on the outside corner. Backwards K for Love. First strikeout of the outing for Malcolm Brown, and there's 2 down here in the home half of the first. Little Rock's defense stays the same. Blake Simpson in left field, Cade Smith in center, and Ty Rhodes in right. Around the horn, around the infield, it's Nolan Friend, Jerdy Lopez, Cooper Chaplin, and Angel Cano, with Trey Hill doing the catching for Malcolm Brown. 2 outs. Here's the right-handed hitting third baseman, Mike O'Connor, for Eastern Illinois. And he'll take strike 1 in there at 82. O'Connor for the Panthers, a senior out of Des Plaines, Illinois. He has had a great year for the Panthers, a .340 hitter as he takes one just off the plate at 82. It's 1-1. He's got a team best .340 average, a team high OPS north of 1,100. He even hit for the cycle on the 15th of March at Memphis at FedEx Park at Avron Fogelman Field. Here's the 1-1 to Mike O'Connor. He's well out in front of that 85-mile-an-hour changeup, and he's behind 1-2. For Malcolm Brown, the changeup is only about 4 to 5 miles an hour slower than his fastball. It'll come in about 85. However, he creates a ton of spin and arm side run and dive on that pitch as it creates deception. 1-2 from Brown, just outside with an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and it moves even here, 2-2 to Mike O'Connor. First team all OVC selection from a season ago, O'Connor. Minimal shift here on the infield. 2-2, tried to front door the slider there. He left it up and in, and the count moves full now. Here to a dangerous hitter, the 3-hole bat here for the 2-seed Eastern Illinois Panthers. Two outs in the home half of the first. Malcolm Brown's 3-2. O'Connor doesn't miss it. It's deep out to left field, and Mike O'Connor gets the Panthers on the board. It's a 2-out solo shot for the centerpiece in Eastern Illinois' lineup. And they get out to the hot start here, 1-0 Eastern Illinois in the home half of the first. It's O'Connor's 16th big fly of the year, his 56th run batted in. And the Panthers, well rested here in this one, have the 1-0 lead in the first. For O'Connor, it's his 4th hit of the tournament. He moves to 4 for 9 now, with now 3 RBIs in these championships. And Little Rock going to have to play from behind, something that they're used to quite a bit this season. Here's Chris Wooster now, the right-handed hitting second baseman out of the cleanup spot. He hits a line drive right on the screws, right at Jordy Lopez at short. And the side is retired. Panthers jump on the board first on 1 hit. It's a solo shot from Mike O'Connor. Little Rock down 1, headed to the second at Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois, your Little Rock Trojans trailing the Eastern Illinois Panthers 1-0. A Mike O'Connor solo shot in the home half of the first that gives Eastern Illinois the lead. Little Rock going to bring 4, 5, 6 here to the plate. Blake Simpson, Nico Bamba, and Angel Cano due up for the Trojans. James Geschel is the arm out there for the Panthers. The right-hander got through Little Rock first 3 hitters in just 8 pitches after an inning-ending double play, 4-6-3 off the bat of Nolan Friend. Here is Blake Simpson leading things off here in the top of the second. He'll take the first one below the zone, ball 1. Looked like the first pitch slider there from Geschel. Simpson, a left fielder for the Trojans, former middle infielder for the Missouri Tigers, forced to play some outfield this year. He's done great out there in left for Little Rock this campaign with minimal experience coming into this year in that spot. He's battled some injuries this season, and he's proved to be impactful regardless. A .310 average, 31 hits, 8 doubles, 2 homers, 19 RBIs for Blake Simpson here. Leading off the second, Trojans trailing 1-0. 1-1 pitch off the plate with an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-1. Simpson in this tournament, 5 for 21, 2 doubles, and 4 RBIs for Little Rock. Looking to get on base here to lead off the second inning for the Trojans. That one misses downstairs at 80. Looks like a changeup from James Geschel. Geschel, he's got the fastball, changeup, slider, curve, but against righties and lefties, he is 60% or higher with the fastball. Jason Anderson, a former big league pitcher, right-hander, is the head coach of Eastern Illinois. And that one misses inside. Blake Simpson has a 5-pitch free pass to get the second inning underway. Little Rock get the tying run on base here early on in this game 1 of the championship series here in Marion. Simpson aboard for a dangerous bat now. Nico Bamba digging in, and his first plate appearance against SIUE here earlier this afternoon resulted in a solo shot deep 377 out to left field towards the line. Bamba, a grad student in his 3rd year with the Trojans, takes a high fastball at 88. Zach Goodwin there had to jump out of the squat to prevent that from getting to the backstop. Bamba, who was a 2-time All-OVC first-team selection in his first 2 seasons with the Trojans. Ready here for a 1-0 with Simpson leading off of first. Pitch is in there for a strike at 87. Bamba, 1 year removed from those 2-time All-OVC first-team selections. He was a member of Division II Lubbock Christian last year before he got a waiver to come back and finish his D1 career here with the Trojans. He takes a slider low, misses downstairs for 80. Bamba, somebody who has poured so much into this program. He missed out last year, of course, on that regional appearance and the regional final appearance for Little Rock at LSU. You know he wants to make it back there with this team here in his last ride, and he's got a 3-1 count now. James Geschel laboring a little bit, can't find the location on the fastball. 3-1 to Bamba with a tying run. Blake Simpson on first base. Trojans down 1-0 here early. 3-1 home in their outside corner. Bamba going to watch that one there. He's forcing Geschel to fill the count up, which he does. 86 on the heater there, it looked like. And count moves full. See if Little Rock are aggressive with Blake Simpson here at first base in a full count scenario. He'll stay put. The 3-2 off the hands of Bamba, fouled into the back netting. That was a well-located fastball there from Geschel. Looked like Bamba was hunting something outer half. He got one on the hands. He was able to get the barrel around to foul it off. And we'll do it again here, 3-2. Simpson stays put once more, and it misses below the knees. Back-to-back free passes issued by James Geschel. Little Rock with 2 on now. Nobody out here in the second as the table is set up here for Angel Cano. Reigning Baton Rouge Regional MVP, the senior from Cartagena, Colombia. Man, and quick mound visit here from Eastern Illinois. Their pitching coach is out there to have a conversation here. Pitching coach is Max Fexke out of North Hollywood, California. Second-year pitching coach at Eastern Illinois, out there to have a conversation here with his right-hander, James Geschel, who faced the minimum in the first inning. On just 8 pitches, he got through the Trojans' top 3 hitters, but now he's struggling here. A couple back-to-back walks, and already the Panthers have a body jogging from the dugout towards the bullpen. I believe that was Jack Helms, the junior right-hander out there, and he's just going to stretch it out for the time being. First and second for Little Rock, nobody out. It's a bunt scenario, but this is not the hitter that you bunt with here. Angel Cano, Little Rock's leading home run hitter with 12 on the season and leading slugger as well, a .534 slugging percentage for the Trojans and a chance to drive in some runs here. Geschel out of the stretch. Right-hander's first delivery at the knees there. A slider to Angel Cano. Breaks to the bottom of the zone, and it's 0-1. Cano, the man who hit 3 of his 7 total home runs last season in the regional. He turns one around out to center field. He just got under one as Quade Peters, the center fielder, gets under it. One runner going to tag here. Simpson's going to move up to third base with 1 out. So a productive out and a quality at-bat for Angel Cano on the F8 as Simpson smartly moves up to third base, and the Trojans will have runners at the corners and 1 out here in the top of the second. That'll bring up Ty Rhodes here for Little Rock, the 4th-year Trojan, who's top 5 in program history in hits, at-bats, doubles, RBIs, runs, total bases, and games played. The 4th-year starter out of Jonesboro, Ty Rhodes here with an opportunity to get Little Rock on the board. Geschel's first offering. Rhodes takes it upstairs, ball 1. Geschel, again, an 8-pitch first inning, but he hasn't been able to find the zone, particularly with that first pitch to each hitter here in this second inning. Little Rock knocking at the door here. Runners at the corners, 1 out in the second. And Rhodes behind the fastball there, 87. Rhodes a touch tardy there, and it's 1-1. Rhodes in his 5 games in this tournament, 4 for 15 with a double and an RBI and a couple of walks. He had a big tournament here at this field last year, a double, a homer, and 2 RBIs and 6 hits on Little Rock's way to their second ever regional in program history. Foul ball there, another fastball. That one at 89, and now Rhodes going to have to shorten up here. Try and put something in play and get the runner home. Blake Simpson 90 feet away, representing the tying run in this one. Little Rock trying to provide an instant response to the Panthers' solo shot on the home half of the first. 1-2, taken downstairs. That is a stone-cold take there from Rhodes on a good changeup that looked like it was starting in the zone and then broke downhill. He's able to lay off of it, and the count moves to 2-2 here to Rhodes. Offering. towards the left field corner, and that'll go foul. Another foul ball off the bat of Rhodes, and we're going to do it again. 2-2 here. Blake Simpson leading off at third base. Nico Bamba on first. Both of those were walks issued by James Geschel. Still one out in the top of the second. 1-2 to tie Rhodes, and he fouls it into the back foot there, the left foot. He appears to be all right, and we'll do it again here, 2-2. As our home plate umpire there behind the dish, reminding the scoreboard operators that it is a 2-2 count. Alex Ransom is our home plate umpire behind the dish. Runners at the corners, one down for Rhodes. 2-2 pitch. He goes up and gets a fastball, probably ball 3 there, but you don't hate the protect swing from Rhodes as he's being aggressive with 2 strikes. All OVC freshman team selection back in 2023. Rhodes has started at Gary Hogan Field since he got to Little Rock as a freshman. He's out in front of the changeup there as he chases one down low. First strikeout for James Geschel. It comes at a crucial time for the second out of the inning as they try and strand that runner 90 feet away at third base. So runners at the corners now and 2 outs, and here comes Trey Hill, right-handed hitting backstop for Little Rock, the fourth-year Trojan out of Farmington, Arkansas. The senior who may have a year left, may be able to come back to Little Rock next season, play some more catcher, as that fastball upstairs at 89. He has to duck out of the way of that one. It's 1-0. Hill in this tournament just 1 for 13, but he's walked twice. He's been hit by a pitch twice, and he's laid down a sacrifice bunt. He's proved effective at the plate. The hits have not yet come, but he's put together some good plate appearances. And another high and tight fastball, that one even closer to Trey Hill. Hill was hit by a pitch earlier today, and he's played 9 innings behind the plate in an afternoon game that finished just about an hour before this one started. So he's surely starting to feel some soreness. He has caught now 6 games in 4 days here in Marion, and he chases a fastball there upstairs at 87, a 2-1 count now to Little Rock's catcher with the tying run 90 feet away. Defense playing pretty much straight up against the right-handed hitting Trey Hill. 2-1 pitch. Bamba on the move there. Maybe a hit and run on as Hill fouls off a fastball. That is not the quickest Trojan over there at first base. Kind of a shock decision there. Little Rock trying to perhaps open up that right side of the field for Trey Hill to find a gap on the infield there with the hit and run. But the foul ball leaves it 2-2. Runners at the corners, 2 outs in the inning. And now home plate umpire here is calling a stoppage there. Alex Ransom said that James Geschel was starting to come to the plate before Trey Hill made eye contact with the right-hander, and so we'll do it again here. 2-2, tying run 90 feet away. The pitch misses low. It gets away from the backstop Goodwin. Both runners going to advance. Blake Simpson comes around on the wild pitch, and Little Rock level things 1-1 here in the second. You'll take that all day if you're the Trojans, as they're able to plate that run. They do not leave Simpson stranded. They get on the board, and it's a 1-1 game here early. Nico Bamba also advancing up into scoring position there on the wild pitch, and now a 3-2 pitch coming from James Geschel to Trey Hill. Wind has flipped from the previous days. It's blowing out to right center. 3-2 off the plate. It's a free pass for Trey Hill. Third walk of the inning for James Geschel, who has labored a lot through this second inning. And I'm looking at the first base dugout to see about head coach Jason Anderson here, the former Yankee, Met, and Cleveland Indian. And it looks like he's going to stay on the step for now. It's going to be a chance here for the lead, and Cooper Chaplin with an opportunity to provide it. 3 infielders on the right side for the Panthers against the left-handed Chaplin, the senior from Jackson, Mississippi. First pitch to Cooper, and he swings and misses on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Chaplin has started to get hot here at the right time. Just a .230 average on the season, but here in this tournament, he's 5 for 15 with a triple, a homer, and 4 RBIs. 0-1, he squares around, pops up a bunt there. He just saw Mike O'Connor, the third baseman, playing deep, and he tried to bunt for a hit there on that occasion, but he fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Chaplin had a huge early game-tying 2-run homer in the early contest today against SIUE, a towering shot down the right field line that leveled the game 3-3 on the Trojans' way to a 7-5 victory in the early contest. 0-2 from James Geschel, popped up sky high, shallow left. Brett Stanley, the left fielder, coming on. He makes the call, and he'll make the catch as he calls off his shortstop, Peyton Wilson, to make the play. Little Rock strand a couple, but they plate one. No hits for Little Rock in the inning, and we head to the home half of the second. One apiece between your Trojans and the Panthers of Eastern Illinois. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois, here getting set for the home half of the second. Your Little Rock Trojans all square with the Panthers of Eastern Illinois and the Ohio Valley Conference Championship Series. Little Rock needing 2, Eastern Illinois only needing 1 after making their way through the upper bracket of this tournament. Trojans led in the 12th season by the hometowner head coach Chris Curry, and what a baseball day it is for the Curry family. Not only is head coach Chris Curry here coaching in the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament Championship game, but his son Caleb Curry, sophomore at Benton High School, is currently competing against Valley View in the 5A state championship game as well. We wish Caleb Curry the best of luck in that championship game. Malcolm Brown's first pitch here in the home half of the second. Zach Goodwin, the catcher, pops it up to left field, and Blake Simpson wanders over to it to make the play for the first out here in the home half of the second. For Malcolm Brown, just the one blemish in the first inning. He had a strikeout, but he gave up the solo shot to, it was Mike O'Connor out of the 3-hole for the Panthers. Took Brown just 12 pitches to get through that first inning, and he's got a quick out on Zach Goodwin there to open up this home half of the second. Peyton Wilson, now right-handed hitting shortstop for Eastern Illinois, digging in. Wilson, a grad student out of American Fork, Utah, second year with the Panthers. He only started 19 games for Eastern Illinois last year. He is now getting in this season as he takes a strike. His 51st start for Jason Anderson, a .243 hitter, 7 doubles, 5 homers, 38 RBIs. 21 walks to 39 strikeouts for the Panthers shortstop. 1-1 pitch to Wilson. He's able to lay off of a slider there that misses low and off the plate. 2-1 now to Wilson. Again, Panthers have only played twice here in this tournament. Wilson is 1 for 7 with an RBI and a walk. 2-1 pitch for Malcolm Brown, turned around down the third base line. 86 on the gun from Brown. Wilson out in front of it as he fouls it off. It's 2-2. Again, wind has flipped since the remainder of the week. It was blowing in. It's blowing out to right center here this evening, but nothing too major. No gusts of much more than 10 miles per hour. This is a big ballpark here at Mountain Dew Park, a tough one to get it out of. 2-2, misses low and off the plate. Change up from Malcolm Brown. He pulled that one, and the count moved full here to Peyton Wilson. Elimination game for the Trojans, not the case for the Panthers, so no point in leaving anybody unused out of the bullpen for Little Rock. Of course, the leash will likely be short for any arm out there. 3-2, turned around off the bat of Peyton Wilson towards the left field corner as it dies down, and it gets foul down there. And it is retrieved by a young fan out there, a part of the family that housed Angel Cano during Cano's high school playing days out at Life Prep Academy in Wichita, Kansas. His housing family is here to support Cano in this tournament as the 3-2 is up the middle, past the diving Cooper Chaplin and into center field. Wilson has a one-out single. It's the second hit for Eastern Illinois here in this game. Their first base runner in the second, and one on and one out now for Eastern. And that'll bring up Ethan Rossi now, right-handed hitting right fielder for the Panthers, digging in. Rossi, a senior out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, second-year Panther, getting his first trip to the plate here against Malcolm Brown. A .281 hitter, 9 doubles, 4 homers, 25 driven in. And Brown going to first check over there on Peyton Wilson at first base. Wilson, 5 stolen bases on the season in 9 attempts. This isn't an Eastern team that steals a whole ton of bags, but they do have 3 guys with 10 or more stolen bases on the year. And Brown going to check over there at first base once more. Best way to describe the Panthers' offense is just very balanced. They move runners over a lot on the sacrifice bunt. They steal a comfortable amount. They hit the extra base hit a good amount. They hit for average well. Bunt down the first base side. Rossi bunts that one just foul of the first base bag, and we'll do it again here. It'll be 0-1 now to the right-handed hitter. Trojans trying to play another day here. They win the early one at 1 o'clock, and they have about an hour to recuperate before taking on the well-rested Eastern Illinois Panthers here on Saturday evening. 1 on, 1 out of a 1-1 game, home half of the second, and an opportunity for Ethan Rossi to extend this Panthers inning. Malcolm Brown, just 12 pitches for him in the first inning. He's been forced to work a little bit here in this second. Runner stays put, 0-1 off the plate. Another bunt attempt there from Rossi, but he pulls it back. And it is 2-1 now to the right-handed hitting right fielder. Quade Peters is the hitter on deck, a .341 hitter from the 8-hole for Eastern. They want this runner here, Peyton Wilson, in scoring position for a bat like that on deck. Rossi this time will square around, and he'll bunt it to the first base side. Malcolm Brown only play over to first base. He underhands it to Cano for the second out of the inning. So everybody happy enough with that. Little Rock get the second out. Panthers get the runner Peyton Wilson into scoring position. And now all it'll take is a base hit here for Quade Peters to give the Panthers the lead. Peters for the Panthers, grad student out of West Fargo, North Dakota, third-year Panther, has played over 140 games for Eastern Illinois and head coach Jason Anderson. And he's got a chance to give them the lead here in the second. First pitch to him, off the plate at 82. Peters out of this 8-hole, a .341 bat, 46 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, no big flies, 22 RBIs, and more walks than strikeouts on the season, 20-19. 1-0 pitch to Peters. He takes it for strike one. Looked like he was taking all the way, an 84-mile-an-hour changeup that drops to the letters on the upper part of the zone. Peters in this tournament, 1 for 6 in his opening 2 games with a single and 1 run scored. Malcolm Brown with a pickoff move, making sure that Peyton Wilson isn't getting too far there off of second base before offering a 1-1 pitch up to Quade Peters, the right-handed hitter for the Panthers. Two teams that have recent memories of regional success. Eastern Illinois back in 2023, Little Rock a season ago, trying to get back there here. 1-1, outside part of the plate, 89 on the heater from Brown, and he gets ahead 1-2 on the 8-hole hitter for Eastern. 24th all-time meeting between these two teams. Little Rock lead the head-to-head 14-9, and they lead 8-5 since Little Rock joined the OVC. Slider on 1-2, that misses low and off the plate. No chase there from Peters, who's able to hold the hands back. Also, head coach Chris Curry leading the head-to-head matchups with Jason Anderson, 11-8, since those two arrived at their respective programs. 2-2 from Brown. Challenge pitch there. Look out down the first base side. Boy, there's not very extended netting here at Mountain Dew Park. And so there's a lot of Eastern Illinois fans sitting just behind the dugout with no protection. And they had to duck for cover on a line shot down the right side. We'll do it again here, 2-2. Peyton Wilson on second base. Quade Peters, the hitter. 2 outs in the home half of the second. The 2-2. Shot through the 5-6 hole. It's out to left field for Blake Simpson in left. That's going to score Peters as it's an RBI single, or that's going to score Wilson, an RBI single for Quade Peters. And Eastern Illinois regain the advantage here 2-1 in the second. 23rd RBI of the season for Peters. And Eastern Illinois back up here 2-1 early in game one of this championship. So that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter now, Tyler Castro for the Panthers. Grad student out of Huntley, Illinois, third-year Panther. Up around 150 games played for Eastern Illinois in his career. He's a .301 hitter from the left side, first baseman. Left-handed bat, .301, 5 doubles, 26 RBIs, and 34 walks for Castro to 18 strikeouts this year. He is a guy who's going to put the ball in play more often than not. Trey Hill having a little trouble corralling the low pitch, but he's able to keep it in front of him and keep the runner Peters at first base. You do got to worry about the base runner. Quade Peters is 11 for 11 on the season in stolen base attempts. Panthers up 2-1 here in the bottom of the second. Runner on first and 2 outs for their 9-hole hitter, Tyler Castro. Runner breaks for second. Throw down from Trey Hill is a good one, but not quite in time as Quade Peters gets in there sliding head first. Hill did everything he could do there. Malcolm Brown on that one was just a little slow to the plate with the long leg lift. Didn't give his catcher the greatest opportunity to gun down Peters. It's a stolen base, 12th of the season for Peters in that regard. And Panthers are set up here with a runner in scoring position and 2 down. 1-1 here from Malcolm Brown, and that's a fastball, or changeup, off the plate. 84 on the gun. Castro getting ahead out of this 9-hole here for the Panthers with their leadoff hitter, Brett Stanley, waiting on deck. 2-1 here to the 9-hole hitter, Castro. That's off the plate. A fastball, 88. Both Brown's fastball and his changeup have arm side run that go away from a left-handed bat. Changeup just drops off the table while the fastball stays firm. Slight shift on the infield towards the right side here against Castro. 3-1 here. He golfs it out to shallow left. And Nolan Friend, the third baseman, makes the call and makes the play on the pop out. Panthers regain the lead. They pick up 1 run on 2 hits. They lead it 2-1 after 2 here at Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois, your Little Rock Trojans trailing the Eastern Illinois Panthers 2-1 as we head to the third inning. Top of the order for Little Rock, Jordy Lopez, Cade Smith, Nolan Friend digging in this frame. It was an 8-pitch first for the right-hander James Geschel for Eastern Illinois. Ran into some problems in the second. He was forced to throw 31 pitches in that last frame, so he's up to 39 on the outing. Got a couple of guys for the Panthers that are kind of stretching out down there in the bullpen, but nobody in too much of a hurry to get loose. First pitch to Lopez, rocket back up the middle. Lopez gets himself aboard here on the very first pitch of the third inning, and the Trojans set up with a tying run on base. Cade Smith coming to the plate here amidst the 1-for-1 day with a single of his own in his first trip to the plate. Smith for Little Rock, 4 for 21 in this tournament, a double and 3 RBIs for Cade Smith. And that's going to be all for James Geschel. Jason Anderson's out there to grab the ball from his right-hander. He goes 2+ innings, gives up the 1 earned run, and Little Rock going to have a runner on first, nobody out in the top of the third here, trailing by 1 at Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Back here for Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock trailing Eastern Illinois 2-1 here in the top of the third. They've got a base runner, their speediest one, Jordy Lopez at first base. Team high 14 stolen bases for him at first. Nobody outs in the inning, and Cade Smith is digging in. New arm for the Panthers, right-handed junior from Beach Park, Illinois. Third-year Eastern right-hander Anthony Solis has the ball now for the Panthers. Solis 4-3 on the season as Cade Smith fouls the first one he sees down the right side out of play. 91 on the fastball from Solis. 4-3 record, 18 appearances, 8 starts, 8.56 ERA, a couple of saves, 62 innings of work for Solis, 27 walks and 46 strikeouts. Lopez stays put at first base. Good take. Cade Smith on a slider 82 that started on the outer part but then broke off the plate and low. Cade Smith singled his first time up. Jordy Lopez on the move, throw down to second base, tries this slide to the outer part of the bag. They're going to say that he came off of the base and the tag was applied on the back half of that play. Lopez wants a challenge immediately, and head coach Chris Curry is going to get out of the dugout. He's going to abide, and the umpiring crew is going to have something to look at here. I don't think he popped off the bag, but it's really tough to say from this angle on that back half, a couple bodies in front of the play. We'll have to wait and see here on the call. A couple of the most recent Ohio Valley Conference coaches of the year teeing off against one another here in this contest. Jason Anderson, last year's OVC coach of the year, Head coach Chris Curry for the Trojans, the 2024 OVC Coach of the Year. It was his second Division I Coaching of the Year honor. He won the award back in 2016 in the Sun Belt as well. Looking at a call here at second base on a potential steal for Jordy Lopez. Call on the field was that he was out. And if that's the case, there will be one out and nobody on base in this inning. If it's overturned, Trojans will have a runner at second base and no outs in this inning. All the reviews done remotely. They've got somebody out there, somebody floating in the vacuum doing the reviews. I can't see them. And the umpiring crew just kind of stands around and waits to hear out of the earpiece whether the call will stand or be overturned. Currently, that umpire is the second base umpire, Bo Whitaker, who is waiting to hear the call right now from the replay. I think the longer this goes, the better it is for Little Rock. Umpiring crews, they usually don't like to overturn things without irrefutable evidence, is the phrase that always gets thrown around. And I think the longer that it goes, the more promising usually that a call could possibly be overturned. Little Rock, an elimination game for the Trojans. Panthers, they have two chances at Little Rock. Promising signs from the press box to my right here, as a couple folks think that Lopez might perhaps be safe. I'm only relaying the information I have available to me. As Anthony Solis on the mound for the Panthers is going to throw some warm-up tosses, and we have a call here from Mountain Dew Park. Out is the call. Call stands. I told you, they don't really like to overturn them. And Lopez caught stealing over there at second. One down here in the third. Leadoff base runner erased, and now Cade Smith going to have to dig in with no runners on. 2-1 here, the count to the Cersei product, Cade Smith, hitting from the right side. And he turns around that fastball deep into the corner. That stays fair. It gets down, one hops the wall. Cade Smith, he says, hey, Lopez can't have second. I'll get in there on the very next pitch with a one-out double. And a PG-13 rated double celebration from Smith as he gets himself in a scoring position here. Tying run on at second base. One out here in the third. Kind of shaking the hips out there. Cade Smith over there at second base. Third hit of the day for Little Rock, and an RBI spot for Nolan Friend, who has an opportunity to amend his 4-6-3 double play that he grounded out into last time. This is the type of hitter you want to have up in these spots as he fouls off the first one. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Anthony Solis. For Solis, this is his second outing in this tournament here. Solis, actually his third outing. He's picked up 2 saves, but he goes early in this one. Friend, fly ball straight away right field. Should be deep enough to get Smith over to third. He'll tag the throw going all the way to third. Smith slides in safely in front of it. It's the second out of the inning. But Little Rock with the tying run now 90 feet away. F9 for Nolan Friend. And now RBI opportunity here for Blake Simpson. Simpson, third school for him, first-year Trojan, began his career playing for Perry Keith at Connors State College in Warner, Oklahoma. Coach Perry Keith with over 1,900 wins in his collegiate coaching career. Active, winningest coach in all collegiate baseball right now. Blake Simpson takes a slider up and off the plate. It's 1-0 here. Shift here on the infield. Shortstop Wilson has stayed on the left side. He is just playing a little closer to the second base bag than you usually see a shortstop play against the left-handed Simpson. And then you have Chris Wooster, the second baseman, deep in the 3-4 hole out in shallow right field. First baseman Tyler Castro hugging the line here. 2 outs, tying run 90 feet away in the top of the third. Trojans trailing by 1. That one through and towards second, backhanded over there by the second baseman. That's a terrific play by Chris Wooster. He backhanded it, and then he had to make the throw from shallow center field off balance, and it was in time to get Simpson at first and prevent Little Rock from tying this game. So we'll head to the home half of the third. Trojans with a couple of hits, but they strand one, and Little Rock down 2-1 going to the bottom of the third. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock trailing Eastern Illinois 2-1 here, headed to the bottom of the third. Top of the order for the Panthers. Brett Stanley, James Love, Mike O'Connor here due up. Right-handed hitting left fielder Stanley grounded out to third. Nolan Friend made that play his first time up. Malcolm Brown still working for the Trojans. He fires a fastball outside corner at 88 for strike one. 34 pitches for Brown through 2 innings. He's given up 2 runs, 1 in either frame. A couple of singles got him in the second, and Mike O'Connor got him for a solo shot back in the first to open the scoring. That ball scorched out to left center, long run. That'll split the gap, and it's going to go all the way to the deepest part of the yard out there, 412 to left center. This is going to be a stand-up triple to lead off the inning for Brett Stanley. And Eastern Illinois now in pole position to extend their advantage past just the 1 run. Leadoff hitter for Eastern Illinois doing his job as he gets himself 90 feet away from scoring with nobody out in this inning. Trojans, they've got some action out there. Josh Beasley, the man from down under with the down under arm slot, is warming up in Little Rock's bullpen down in right field. And a meeting here on the mound to give him a little time to get warmed up and situated. Trey Hill's out there. Angel Cano was talking to Brown for a moment. Now those two back, just waiting to see. Coach Curry, he really likes Josh Beasley in these situations with the back to the wall with runners on base. And yeah, he's coming out of the dugout. He wants Beasley here, who got warmed up in just about no time at all. The experienced right-handed Australian Josh Beasley is out of the bullpen as Malcolm Brown goes 2+ innings. Little Rock trying to keep this a 1-run game. They trail Eastern Illinois 2-1 here at Mountain Dew Park in Marion. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois, your Little Rock Trojans trailing the Panthers of Eastern Illinois 2-1 here, and Eastern threatening again in the third. They've got Brett Stanley on third base after a leadoff triple. Nobody out here for their two-hole hitter, James Love. Malcolm Brown's start is over, and now the ball in the hands of the right-handed grad student from Wheeler Heights, New South Wales, Australia, Josh Beasley. Third-year Trojan began his collegiate career at National Park College in Hot Springs, where Australian head coach there, Rich Thompson, who is now with the Arkansas Travelers as their manager, recruited Beasley to go and play there as a hitter. He was converted to a pitcher. He's got a funky arm slot from around 3 o'clock where he'll release it. He kind of drops his shoulder down like he's going to go submarine style, but then he'll keep his arm at a solid sidearm angle. He's got a sinker, a changeup, and a slider, and he creates a lot of weak contact, missing barrels. And that's the idea here. They want to pop up or something that stays in the infield and keeps Brett Stanley at third base. Beasley already has one outing here in this tournament. Friday night, last night, that is, against Southern Indiana, went 20 pitches, 1 inning, a hit, no earned runs, no walks, and a strikeout against the Screaming Eagles. He put the finishing touches on that victory, Little Rock's second win over Southern Indiana. James Love is the hitter, right-handed bat. First look at Beasley here in this tournament. His first pitch slider is right there, outside corner 76. It's really a sweeping Frisbee-like slider for Beasley. With that low arm slot, that pitch, it almost, from the center field camera, deceptively looks like it rises out of his hand. It creates a lot of swing and miss. 0-1, sinker to third. Nolan Friend fakes a tag on the base runner, goes to first, and they hold Stanley on the 5-3 ground out. So a third of the job done here for Josh Beasley. That's a big first out as they strand Stanley at third for the moment. But now it gets even more difficult here. Mike O'Connor, you have to question whether Little Rock might want to put O'Connor here on first base even. A man who hit a solo shot to open up the scoring for Eastern back in the first inning off Malcolm Brown. Oh, head coach Curry trusting his right-hander Beasley here in this spot. First pitch to O'Connor, slider and a swing and a miss. Boy, his bat almost came out of the hands there as he rolls the handle of the bat on his hands and reapplies the sticky stuff. Oh, 0-1 here to Mike O'Connor with a solo shot already under his belt in this game. Slider there. Trey Hill dives to his right, keeps it from going to the backstop, and holds Brett Stanley over there at third base. Mike O'Connor, a senior out of Des Plaines, Illinois, third-year Panther who began his career at the University of Illinois at Springfield, a Division II club. Beasley ready here out of the stretch. The 1-1 sinker, he got him. Nope. Change up down low, and he got him to swing and miss there as he gets ahead 1-2. 75 on the change from Beasley. And he is looking for the strikeout here, hunting for the K, trying to strand that runner at third base after the leadoff triple from Brett Stanley here in this third inning. O'Connor at the plate, Beasley ready out of the stretch. The 1-2. Slider this time. O'Connor makes the adjustment, lays off of it. It's 2-2. Josh Beasley, who represented his country, the Australian Under-23 Baseball World Cup a couple years ago in Beijing, China, where he'll play again for his country this summer. 2-2 home from Beasley. O'Connor turns it around, and it gets down in front of Blake Simpson. It's an RBI single for O'Connor, his second RBI of the day. Stanley comes home to score here, and it is a 3-1 Panther lead in the third. They've scored one in all three frames so far. And for O'Connor, his second RBI in this game, his 57th RBI of the year to lead the way for Eastern. They have a 2-run cushion, and they have 1 on and 1 out for their cleanup batter. Second baseman from the right side, Chris Worcester, who lined out sharply to Jordy Lopez at shortstop his first time up. This is his first meeting here in this tournament with Josh Beasley. First pitch, slider off the plate. O'Connor over there at first base. 6 stolen bases on 6 attempts this year. So he's picked his spots nicely over there, and he'll dive back as Beasley checks on him. Not too much of a lead over there for O'Connor. Pretty small lead over there at first base. 1-0 coming home here to Chris Wooster. Slider popped sky high, shallow right. Cooper Chaplin, second baseman, has the read on it, and he's called off. Ty Rhodes, the right fielder, has the easier play there coming in, and he uses his voice and his glove to make the play. 2 down here in the home half of the third. 1 run already across for the Panthers, 1 runner on first, and Zach Goodwin, their catcher, digs in here. Left-handed bat, one of the 2 left-handers in this order for head coach Jason Anderson. Senior backstop out of Roseville, Minnesota. Second-year Panther. Here with an opportunity to extend Eastern's lead as the throw goes to Angel Cano at first, checking in on the runner. Goodwin, a .297 hitter. 91 at-bats this season. 4 doubles for him. 11 RBIs and more walks than strikeouts from the left side. Runner stays put. First pitch, outside corner. Change up at 76, and Trey Hill made it look good back there. Might have stolen Beasley strike 1 to open things up to Zach Goodwin. Infield shifted. Chaplin, the second baseman. 3-4 hole out in right field. Lopez hugging the second base bag over there at short. Runner on the move. 0-1 pitch. Good one to throw on for Hill. His throw is offline, and sliding in safely is Mike O'Connor. So O'Connor doing a little bit of everything for Eastern Illinois early on in this game. He's got a solo shot. He's got an RBI single, and now he's got a stolen base as he gets himself in scoring position for Zach Goodwin here. 1-1 to Eastern Illinois' catcher, left-handed bat. 2 outs here in the inning. The pitch in there for a strike. Change up from Beasley with a ton of arm side movement. That one, it made Goodwin lift the bat up. He thought it was going to come in and hit him, but it darted back and down into the inside corner of the zone. 1-2 here. Beasley 1 pitch away from getting out of things. And he gets a wave and a miss on the changeup. First strikeout out of the pen for Little Rock's right-hander Josh Beasley, as the Panthers strand 1, but they score 1 on 2 hits. We head to the 4th. Trojans trailing Eastern Illinois by 2 in Marion, Illinois. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock down 3-1 here as we head to the top of the 4th. Anthony Solis, one of the premier bullpen arms for Eastern Illinois, is on the mound. Took him just 8 pitches to escape a jam in the 3rd. And now he's got to get through the 4th. 5, 6, 7, Nico Bamba, Angel Cano, and Ty Rhodes due up for Little Rock. Bomba takes a 91-mile-an-hour fastball off the plate for ball one. And he hits that one hop, and Solis makes a nice play as he underhands it over to his first baseman. A 1-3 ground out for Bomba on 2 pitches, and there's one down here in the top of the 4th. Little Rock looking for some offensive support here. They need a couple to get back into things. Angel Cano flew out to straightaway center field his first time. Cano 5 for 22, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs in this championship series, or in these tournament, I should say. And he tips a 93-mile-an-hour fastball into the glove of Zach Goodwin for strike 1. 0-1 pitch to Cano, and that is a slider low and off the plate that misses. It's 1-1. 1-1 here to Cano. Short hop at shortstop for Peyton Wilson. His throw over to first in time to get Cano. And there's 2 quick outs here on a couple of ground outs, and that'll bring up Ty Rhodes now with nobody on base in the top of the 4th for the Trojans. As they serenade Ty Rhodes as he comes to the plate. Trojans trailing by 2 here. 4th-year Trojan Rhodes digging in with an opportunity to get on base and bring the tying run to the plate. He struck out swinging his first time, and he fouls one down the right side. 0-1 now to Ty Rhodes. Rhodes yesterday passed Jake Wright for the 3rd most games played in Little Rock program history. His former catcher, Jake Wright. And he takes a 93-mile-an-hour heater below the zone. It's 1-1 now. Anthony Solis, one of the Panthers' first choices out of the bullpen all season long, is working here in his second frame of work. 1-1 here to Ty Rhodes down the third base line. 2 hops over to Mike O'Connor. His throw to first is a strike, and the Trojans are retired in order. 3 ground outs in the top of the 4th. We head to the bottom half. Eastern Illinois 3, Little Rock 1. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock trailing Eastern Illinois 3-1 here, headed to the bottom of the 4th. 6, 7, 8 due up for Eastern. Peyton Wilson, Ethan Rossi, and Quade Peters, the 3 that the Panthers will bring to the dish. Josh Beasley still working for Little Rock. He came on with a runner on third base and nobody out in the 3rd, and he got close to stranding him, but Mike O'Connor, the 3-hole hitter, with his 2nd RBI here in this one, drove Brett Stanley home and gave the Panthers that 3-1 lead. So far, Eastern with 1 run in each of the first 3 frames. Trojans with their 1 run in the top of the second. Little Rock down 2, and Peyton Wilson digging in. He singled off of Malcolm Brown his first time. And he'll take a slider there, outside corner, strike 1 from Josh Beasley. 14th pitch of the day. Beasley took just 13 pitches to get through all 3 outs of the third. 0-1 to Peyton Wilson. Another slider. This one off the plate, and he lays off of it. Wilson, grad student out of American Fork, Utah, former Division II ball player at Francis Marion University before he joined Jason Anderson and the Panthers last season. 1-1 from Beasley, went to the sinker, missed off the plate. It is 2-1. Panthers up 2 here, home half of the fourth. Leadoff hitter Peyton Wilson leading off in this inning, or 6-hole hitter Peyton Wilson leading off. Nice 75-mile-an-hour slider there, right to the outside corner. Wilson has watched both sliders for strikes, and now it is 2-2 to Wilson, looking for his second hit here in this contest. Beasley with a pause here and his 2-2 offering, and a wave and a miss on a slider. Heavy dosage of the breaker continues for Beasley. He picks up where he left off in the third. A strikeout here. That's his second. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth. That brings up Ethan Rossi, who laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time. Right-handed hitting right fielder for the Panthers. Second-year Trojan out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, man who began his collegiate career at Northern Oklahoma Tonkawa. Rossi takes strike 1 there, 83 on the sinker at the knees. Beasley, not a guy that's going to overwhelm you with the velocity. His sinking fastball will sit 83 to 87. But everything he throws has a ton of movement, and he's able to miss barrels effectively as he throws another sinker, and Rossi fouls it into his foot. A quick 0-2 count here with 1 down in the bottom of the fourth. Trojans trying to put up their first 0 in this one after Eastern Illinois scoring 1 run in each of the first 3 innings. Defense playing pretty much straight up against the right-handed hitting Rossi. No 2 from Josh Beasley, front door slider. Nice job of fouling that off by Rossi. That's a really good 0-2 pitch there from Beasley. The slider that looks like it's going to hit you for about 50% of its flight as a right-handed hitter, and then dances its way into the front half, the inside part of the plate. Foul ball there, and we'll do it again. Beasley here, what does he go with? 0-2 pitch, fastball upstairs. And that one misses. A take by Rossi, trying to get his first hit here in this contest after the sac bunt his last time. One, 2 over to short. Jordy Lopez makes his way over there on the L6, and there's 2 down in the inning. Pretty well struck there, the sinking fastball that Rossi connected with, but Little Rock got a guy over there, Jordy Lopez, their great smooth glove shortstop, able to get over there, make the routine play. 2 down now, nobody on base, and Quade Peters dig again. Peters, 8-hole hitter, right-handed center fielder. Is 1-for-1 RBI single his last time. He squares around, bunts 1 foul. Peters looking to get on base any way necessary. He stole second base after the RBI single his last time up. Panthers here leading Little Rock 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Trojans trying to put up their first 0 here in this one. Little Rock with their backs to the wall. 0-1 from Beasley. Another line shot and off the top of the glove of Jordy Lopez. Just caught some glove as it gets out into left field and over the head of the jumping shortstop. It's a 2-out single. Second hit of the day for Quade Peters in as many trips. And again, you got to worry about the speed. 12 stolen bases in 12 attempts for Quade Peters this year. He stole second back in the second. And now you got Tyler Castro out of the 9-hole for the Panthers. 301 hitter. Popped out to Nolan Friend at third base his first time. Speed on at first, 2 outs in the inning. First pitch, sinking fastball at the knees, strike one. Castro, a .299 hitter on the season, 53 hits, 26 RBIs, 5 doubles. Slight shift on the infield, nothing major. Jordy Lopez still on the left side of second base bag, and that a pitch out there, 81 mile an hour off the plate. Looked like it was by design based on where Trey Hill was set up for that pitch, and it's 1-1. Left-handed hitter Castro ready. First to pick off move as Josh Beasley checks in on Quade Peters. Trojans here, second year straight they've made the championship in this Ohio Valley Conference tournament. They're trying to repeat for the first time in program history. 1-1 from Beasley, inside corner for a strike. A sinker there that started off inside and then tailed back away from the left-hander towards the inside corner. It's 1-2. Josh Beasley 1 strike away from putting a 0 on the board here in the fourth. Time called now, as you got some sort of equipment malfunction here with the base runner, Quade Peters at first base, who needs to figure out the sliding mitt. And now they get it to him. And he applies it on the right hand. Panthers leading 3-1, home half of the fourth. Runner on, 1-2 count. Beasley checks on the runner. Not a bad idea right after the runner puts the sliding mitt on. They go try to pick him off over there at first base. Telltale sign that something may be up over there. 2 outs in the inning, runner on first. Trojans trailing by 2. Peters stays put. Foul ball off the net there from Castro. We'll do it again at 1-2. Panthers making Beasley work here. He came on in the third inning. Had to get all 3 outs a frame ago, and now he's an inning and 2/3 through his outing. He's up near 30 pitches now, Josh Beasley. Man who threw 20 of them last night. Check over at first base, making sure Quade Peters can't get too far off of that first base bag. Trying to give his backstop Trey Hill a chance to throw him out at second base. Runner breaks, 1-2 on the ground to short. Jordy Lopez is there. Off balance throw to first in time to get Castro, and that'll retire the side. So 1 hit for the Panthers, but they leave Quade Peters stranded at first, and the Trojans trail by 2. We head to the 5th at Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock 1, Eastern is up 3-1 here. 2-run game. Trojans going to bring 8, 9, and 1 to the dish. Trey Hill, Cooper Chaplin, Jordy Lopez. Little Rock's catcher here batting from the right side. His first time up, he worked a 2-out walk back in the second inning. And Hill takes the first pitch strike from Anthony Solis, a fastball 91 on the inner half of the zone. 270 hitter this year, Trey Hill, fourth-year catcher for the Trojans. And he takes another one, 93 on that one. Hill quickly behind now, 0-2. Solis working quickly. Panthers right-hander out of the stretch with nobody on base. Popped up to the right side off the bat of Trey Hill, and it'll get out of play. About 8 rows or so up down the right side. First baseman Tyler Castro following it all the way. It remains 0-2 here to Trey Hill, fourth-year Trojan, who's been able this season to keep himself healthy and try to prove impactful here in the late stages of the season. Rocket down the right side. That one a little closer there from Hill, but at 10 or 12 feet foul there and out of play. Another 0-2 coming here from Anthony Solis. It is 4 straight fastballs from Solis to open things up to Trey Hill. 20 pitches now for Solis, and he goes with the changeup there, and Trey Hill's able to take it below the zone. Hill, who grew up on the family farm outside of Fayetteville in Farmington, herding cattle, waking up at the wee hours of the morning. Much harder work than being a catcher. Hard work in its own right. 1-2 to Hill. He's out in front of the changeup, and he's set down on strikes. First strikeout for Anthony Solis out of the bullpen. 1 down now in the top of the 5th. Little Rock bats have gone quiet here. 6 straight set down by Anthony Solis after Cade Smith greeted him with a double when he first came into the game in the 3rd. So 1 out now. Trojans still trailing by 2 here in the top of the 5th. And in steps Cooper Chaplin, who flew out to left his first time, and he fouls that one down the left side out of play, 0-1. Chaplin, who is starting to heat up in this tournament, 5 for 16, a triple, a homer, 4 RBIs. Backdoor slider in a really good spot from Anthony Solis, who has been living in an 0-2 count here since he's come on back in the 3rd. 0-2 pitch to Chaplin. He follows the changeup there. Nicely done by Chaplin to take that pitch that looked like it was going to be a heater on the outer part of the plate and then drop down with some arm side run away from the left-handed bat. It's 1-2. Solis' next pitch, back to the change, and Chaplin swings over the top of it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Solis on Little Rock's 8 and 9 hitters. And the order will flip back to the top with 2 outs and nobody on base here in the 5th. Back here to Jordy Lopez, 1 for 2 here in the contest. Lopez is 6 for 21 in the tournament. And the Dominican shortstop takes ball 1 there off the plate with the slider. Solis working quickly out of the stretch. And Lopez fouling one out of the park down the right side behind home plate. 93 on the fastball from Solis. He is pretty fresh here. He's had to throw a couple times in this tournament already, but not too many pitches on the pitch count for him. Slider, Lopez holds the hands back. It's 2-1. Lopez had the clutch 2 RBI double down the third base line against Southern Indiana last night. He pops up a 2-1 right side out, foul ball, and out of play. Castro, the first baseman, watches it bounce near the seats. 2-2 count here to Little Rock shortstop. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Little Rock down 3-1. Trojans playing with their season on the line. They need to beat Eastern Illinois not only tonight, but also tomorrow at 12 o'clock to keep back-to-back regional hopes alive. Grounded to the third base side, foul in front of the bag. It's 2-2. Lopez, 2 years at Western Oklahoma State College, played for the Pioneers out there, same school that produced big leaguer Andrelton Simmons. Another smooth fielding shortstop like Lopez. 2-2, front door slider. Solis thought it was there. He takes about 4 or 5 steps towards the dugout. Panthers taking a note from the Cougars playbook there, and it's 3-2. SIUE had done that a couple of times in the earlier game at 1 o'clock today. 3-2 here on Jordy Lopez, 2 outs in the 5th. The pitch popped up, right field, straight away. Ethan Rossi is there, hardly has to move, and he brings it down. Trojans set down in order here in the 5th. Ethan Rossi has set 8 Trojans down in a row. We're halfway through things at Mountain Dew Park. Panthers on top of your Trojans, 3-1. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois, your Little Rock Trojans trailing Eastern Illinois 3-1 here, headed to the home half of the 5th. Third time through for the Panthers. Top of the order due up. Brett Stanley, James Love, and Mike O'Connor, the 3 hitters set to take the dish against Little Rock right-hander Josh Beasley, who came on in the 3rd. For Beasley so far, 2 innings, 2 hits, no earned, no walks, and a couple of strikeouts. He's thrown 30 pitches, and 22 of those have been strikes in his opening 2 frames out of the pen for the Trojans. Little Rock needing 2 here against Eastern Illinois. Panthers just need 1 to be crowned champions here tonight. Stanley digging in. First pitch from Josh Beasley. A slider misses downstairs. It's 1-0 on the 75-mile-an-hour breaker. Stanley, a leadoff triple in the 3rd inning. He was driven in by Mike O'Connor on an RBI single, the 3rd run of the game for Eastern. 1-0 from Josh Beasley, and that misses upstairs. 74 on a changeup there. Beasley can't pull it down, and it's 2-0. Stanley here in this tournament is 3 for 9 with the triple, the lone extra base hit so far for Brett Stanley. Josh Beasley's 2-0 pitch, and that sinker runs inside at 82. A 3-0 count here to the leadoff hitter in the 5th. Josh Beasley, not a guy who walks a whole ton of hitters. Beasley coming into this appearance, 19 walks in 24 and a 3rd innings. Well, that was a season ago, pardon. Just 6 walks in 35 and 2/3 innings for Josh Beasley, and he fires an 82-mile-an-hour sinker on the outside corner. Boy, that is why head coach Chris Curry trusts Josh Beasley in these spots. Just 6 free passes all season long and over 35 innings pitched for the right-hander from down under. Squaring around a bunt on 3-1, pulling it back and taking strike 2 is Brett Stanley. Outside corner with a changeup that time for Josh Beasley. And now the count full here to Stanley, who tripled out to the left center alleyway his last time up. Beasley ready out of the stretch on 3-2. And the payoff pitch. Slider, it would have been outside of the zone, but it's fouled off by Stanley behind the plate down the right side, and we'll keep it 3-2. No defensive shifts for the Trojans. They're playing straight up against the right-handed bat of Brett Stanley. 3-2 from Josh Beasley. Front door slider, and it just missed. Boy, Brett Stanley gets aboard on a leadoff walk here in the fifth inning. Just the seventh walk all year long by Josh Beasley in over 35 innings. And now a base runner here for James Love. Designated hitter from the right side, has struck out looking and grounded out to third base. And I'm sure Josh Beasley would take either of those results here. Got to watch out for the speed of Stanley. 21 stolen bases this year as the bunt is laid down to the first base side. Angel Cano going to make the play. No, out of the baseline is the call by the first base umpire, Ben Levin. The ball was trickling towards Cano at first base, and it was kind of in between Beasley and Cano, a really well-placed bunt. It was just slow enough so that Cano, when he fielded it, couldn't lay the tag down on the base runner Love, and then Love slid to the right side of the protective orange bag over there. He really honestly didn't go super far to the right because, I mean, he had to put his left hand on that base as he was sliding towards it. It's a call that surprises me a little bit, if I'm being honest, but I'm not sure how reviewable of a call it is. Jason Anderson, the head coach, is out there. He's pretty fired up about that decision, but there is one out here, and it's a sacrifice bunt, a successful one for James Love. And now Jason Anderson's trying to plead his case to the home plate umpire here. He's conversating now with Alex Ransom. Former big leaguer, not too happy about that decision, but there's one out now. So here's a dangerous bat now in a dangerous spot. Runner on second base, one out in the inning, and Mike O'Connor digging into the plate. A solo homer in the first, an RBI single in the third, and Mike O'Connor now being awarded first base here. Something that he is not too thrilled about. Trojans setting up the double play. Here they want Chris Wooster, the cleanup man for the Panthers, who has lined out and flied out so far in this one. Wooster for Eastern, redshirt senior out of Johnsburg, Illinois. The fifth-year Panther is going to be called over by his third base coach. And now a word here between the coach and his right-handed bat. RBI opportunity, Eastern Illinois, runners on first and second and just one out. Again, Wooster 0 for 2 in this contest. He is 2 for 9 in this tournament with a sacrifice bunt to his name, and potentially could see him bunt for Zach Goodwin, but this is their cleanup hitter, so I would imagine that Eastern want to have Wooster probably keep the bat on his shoulder, take some swings in an RBI spot, although the Panthers do bunt or sacrifice bunt more than any other team in the OVC. First pitch from Josh Beasley out to center field, struck very well, but right at Cade Smith out there. He did not have to move. It's an L8 and the second out here in the fifth, a crucial out in this contest considering the situation. 2 on and 2 out now for Zach Goodwin. Left-handed hitting catcher is 0 for 2. He's flown out to left the other way, and he struck out swinging in his lone trip to the plate against the right-hander Josh Beasley. Trojans got Preston Davis warming up out there in the bullpen for Little Rock. The hard thrower is out there stretching and tossing for the Trojans. Goodwin takes ball 1. 2 on, 2 out. Panthers up 2 in the 5th. Little Rock needing to get out of a jam, and Josh Beasley firing a sinker outside corner to even things up 1-1 to Zach Goodwin. Catcher who is 0 for 2 on the day, 1 for 8 in the tournament. Beasley's offering, fouled off. A painful one for Trey Hill behind the dish. Little Rock's catcher, as that ball was fouled into the body of Hill. And the home plate umpire here in this one, Alex Ransom, is going to walk the ball back to Josh Beasley here and give Hill a moment to regain his senses. Panthers threatening. They've got Stanley at second, O'Connor at first, 2 outs in this inning, and they lead it by 2. Beasley 1 pitch away from getting out of it, though. 1-2 pitch, turned around down the right field line, but foul. Another 1-2 here coming to a left-handed hitter. 293 on the season, 11 RBIs, 4 doubles for Zach Goodwin. And he can add to that RBI tally here with the runner in scoring position. Beasley long hold here on 1-2. Out of the stretch, slider, and he froze Zach Goodwin. 3rd strikeout for Josh Beasley out of the bullpen. He gets himself through 3 frames of no earned run ball. 3rd punch out for him, and we head to the bottom or the top of the 6th. Trojans trailing by 2. Back here for Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Your Little Rock Trojans trailing Eastern 3-1 here as we head to the top of the 6th. Trojans needing 2 wins to stay alive. Panthers just need 1 to punch their ticket to a regional. Eastern's last time winning the OVC was 2023. Little Rock did it last year for their 2nd ever regional appearance in program history. 2-3-4, heart of the order for the Trojans. And Cade Smith takes a first pitch fastball, or slider, 80 from Anthony Solis. Strike 1 in the outside corner. Smith, a 2-hit day already for the right-handed bat. And he fouls off a fastball, 92 down the right side, out of play. 0-2 to Cade Smith. Boy, Little Rock have got to do something here to get Anthony Solis off the mound after Cade Smith welcomed him into the game with a double his last time. He has retired 8 straight Trojans. Changeup, 83, misses down and in. It's 1-2 to the redshirt sophomore from Searcy. Smith singled in the first, and then he doubled off of Solis back in that 3rd inning. 1-2, high fly ball, shallow right field towards the line. Ethan Rossi makes the catch a step inside of fair territory, and for the first time in this game, Cade Smith is set down. He moves to 2 for 3, and Nolan Friend moves to the dish here amidst an 0 for 2 days so far. Friend, another right-handed bat. Junior 3rd baseman out of Kingman, Kansas. 3-sport star in high school. High school quarterback down there at the 2A outfit, Kingman High School. And he's looking to provide Little Rock a spark plug. He grounded into a double play his first time. He flew out to right last time up. And that one's off the hands, dying down in shallow left center. Left fielder makes the call. Brett Stanley out in left makes the catch. And a couple of flyouts here for Little Rock and 2 quick outs in the top of the 6th. Anthony Solis continuing to miss barrels here for the Trojans. That is 10 straight Little Rock hitters retired for the Panthers right-hander. Trojans just 3 hits through 5 2/3 in this game. They have been shut down. Their one run that scored in the second, Blake Simpson, the hitter now, came across on a wild pitch. That's a rocket, and it gets under the glove of Mike O'Connor at third. First wrong step that O'Connor's done all day, and it gets under the glove of Brett Stanley in left. So that's going to be a single and an E7 as Blake Simpson gets himself into second base. Runner in scoring position and perhaps a lifeline here, but Little Rock needing a big hit now. Another big hit out of Nico Bamba. Bamba grounded out to Solis in their lone meeting. He walked back in the second. He's 0 for 1 in this game, but he is Little Rock's leading hitter in this tournament. 11 for 20, solo homer earlier today against the Cougars, and he takes fastball outside corner 92 for strike 1. His home run against SIUE today was his 26th career big fly, passing Skylar Trevino, his former teammate, for third most in program history. And he takes an 0-1 fastball up above the zone at 92. It's 1-1 to the 7th-year collegiate man out of Euless, Texas. 1-1 from Solis. Bamba gets under the breaking pitch in the zone. It's out to shallow center. The second baseman, Wooster, goes all the way out and makes the catch in shallow center. So Little Rock get a base hit with 2 outs, but they strand Blake Simpson on the bags. They still trail the Panthers 3-1, headed to the bottom of the 6th. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Trojans playing for their lives here, trying to keep their seasons going as they trail Eastern Illinois 3-1. Panthers just need 1 to be crowned champions. Little Rock need to win tonight and then again tomorrow at noon, coming up out of the lower bracket. Josh Beasley still working for Little Rock, came on in the 3rd. He's gone 3 innings of no-run ball, and now it's Peyton Wilson here out of the 6th hole for Eastern, who takes a first pitch changeup outside corner for strike 1. Wilson 1 for 2, singled, came around to score back in the 2nd. That was the 2nd run of the game for Eastern, who plated 1 run in each of the first 3 frames before Beasley slowed down the Panthers a little bit in the middle innings. That one golfed out to center. Cade Smith a few steps to his left, out in right center, and he makes the play for the first down here in the home half of the 6th. So that's going to bring up Ethan Rossi now, right fielder, who's 0 for 1, a sharp line drive out to Jordy Lopez last time up. He laid down a sacrifice bunt back in the second that set up an RBI single in that frame. Beasley here ready out of the stretch. His first pitch to Rossi, fouled into the back net. He's ahead 0-1. Beasley living in the strike zone as we've been accustomed to seeing. Little Rock right-hander with just 8 walks all season long and 39 plus innings of work. Rossi is 2 for 7 in this tournament, with a double and an RBI. One hop over to Jordy Lopez at short. He fires to first in time to get Rossi. And there's 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th. A connection there between Lopez and Angel Cano, a couple of high school and junior college teammates, and now teammates all the way to the Division I level here in Little Rock. Here's Quade Peters, right-handed hitting center fielder, enjoying a good day out of the 8-hole for his head coach, Jason Anderson. A couple of singles, an RBI knockback in the second, as well as a stolen base. He has not really stepped a wrong foot yet here in this OVC championship. And Josh Beasley drops in a first pitch changeup at 74. Beasley's done a great job of slowing this Eastern offense down and giving the Trojans a chance here in the middle innings to try and get back into this ball game. Little Rock bats, though, they've met their match as well. Anthony Solis, the right-hander for Eastern Illinois, has shut down Trojan bats as well. Solis has gone 4 innings in relief, taking just 43 pitches to do so, and Little Rock haven't conjured up anything on the reliever. 1-1 there to Quade Peters, and he fouls it down the right side out of play. Josh Beasley here, 1 pitch away from his 4th straight scoreless frame. He did give up a run, but it wasn't charged to him. It was charged to the starter, Malcolm Brown, back in the 3rd. 1-2 to Quade. Peters runs up, and it hits Peters in the head. A changeup that got away from Beasley. Hit the helmet there of Quade Peters, and he's all right, though. He jogs down to first base. Looked like it just caught the top of the helmet, though. No heat on that pitch. 75-mile-an-hour changeup. Obviously no intent there. And there's a base runner here now for Tyler Castro out of the 9-hole for the Panthers. Castro 0 for 2, popped out to third his first time up. He grounded out to short. He's gone the opposite way in both trips to the dish so far. Peters, you got to watch out for the speed. He's on his way to second. Trey Hill's throw down, not in time. And Quade Peters with another stolen base, his second stolen base of the game here as he gets himself into scoring position. Panthers have been able to run wild a bit on Trey Hill here in this one. And now Little Rock going to try and strand a runner in scoring position. Tyler Castro, the hitter, with an opportunity to give Eastern a 3-run lead, and that's going to be all for Josh Beasley as the runner gets into scoring position. Head coach Chris Curry is out there to grab the ball from his right-hander. There's a couple guys tossing out there for Little Rock. I'm just waiting to see which one head coach Chris Curry wants, unless it's just a rare meeting from the skipper, but I doubt that that's the case. The bullpen doesn't know who they want just yet. And now it is going to be the right-hander Blake Van Cleve running out for the Trojans. So new arm for Little Rock, trailing by 2 here in the home half of the 6th. Panthers threatening once again with a runner on second and 2 outs when we come back. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. New arm out there for Little Rock. Panthers leading 3-1, and they've got Quade Peters on second base and 2 outs in the home half of the sixth for their 9-hole hitter, Tyler Castro. It was a good relief appearance by Josh Beasley, able to stifle this Panthers offense for the middle innings, and now the ball in the hand of the right-handed grad student from Plano, Texas, Blake Van Cleve, getting the outing for Little Rock. Third-year Trojan, getting his 15th appearance this season, 13 and a third innings, 12 hits, 12 earned, 12 walks, and 11 strikeouts. He's got a fastball, a splitter, and I want to say 12-6 curve, but it does come very over the top. It's as close to a 12-6 as anybody that this Little Rock roster has. Maybe Hunter Royal, the left-hander, has more of a over-the-top breaking ball than Van Cleve, but his is, I guess I'd say 11-5 on the curveball. Tyler Castro here, a 1-0 count with the runner on second and 2 outs in the home half of the sixth. Van Cleve ready, first pitch, fastball, 86, outside corner. 1-1 here to the 9-hole hitter. Pop out to third, ground out to short. So left side of the infield better be ready here for Castro. Curveball from Van Cleve, 74, and Castro watches it miss low and in. It's 1-1. Castro, grad student out of Huntley, Illinois. 2-1 count here to the left-handed hitter. Fastball outside corner. 87 there from Blake Van Cleve, and it's evened up 2-2. Infield predicting the left-handed bat, Castro, to pull against the right-hander Van Cleve, who has a little bit less velocity than the starter Malcolm Brown. 2-2 from Van Cleve, fastball up and off the plate. He fired that one up at 89, but it misses out of the zone. It moves all full here. Good speed at second and Quade Peters. Tyler Castro, you'd think a base hit would probably score the run. 3-2 from Van Cleve, fouled off down the left side. He goes with the fastball at 87. Good spot for that one. This is Van Cleve's first appearance in this tournament this season. He picked up a 2-inning save last season against SEMO in these championships. He pitched against the Panthers as well in this tournament a season ago. Curveball, fouled down the left side. This is the rematch of last year's championship as well. Trojans were able to win a 1-run game against Eastern last year, but now they need 2 against the Panthers out of the lower bracket this season. 3-2 from Van Cleve, tipped into the glove of Trey Hill. Blake Van Cleve comes in, gets a strikeout to escape a jam in the sixth. No runs on no hits, 1 runner left on for Eastern Illinois. And we head to the final 3 frames. Little Rock need to get the bats cooking here late. They trail by 2 down to their final 9 outs here at Mountain Dew Park. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock trailing Eastern 3-1 here. Trojans needing to come back to keep their season alive. 6, 7, 8 in the order due up. Angel Cano first pitch swinging. 2 hops. A nice dig by Peyton Wilson at short. And a nice dig by Tyler Castro at first to finish the play. And Cano grounds out to short for the second straight trip to the plate. He is 0 for 3 in this one. And that'll bring Ty Rhodes to the dish now for Little Rock. Anthony Solis for the Panthers has done his job in these middle innings. He came on with 1 out in the third. Well, he actually came out with nobody out in the third. Jordy Lopez was caught stealing, and then he got out of a jam after Cade Smith doubled. And Ty Rhodes takes one below the zone, ball 1. Trojans have reached base just twice in 14 plate appearances off of Solis so far in this bullpen outing. Ty Rhodes able to lay off of a 91-mile-an-hour fastball below the zone there. And it is 2-0 here to the fourth-year Trojan from Jonesboro. 0 for 2 day for Rhodes in this one so far. He takes, and it's 3-0. Rhodes a strikeout and a ground out so far. Ty Rhodes is 4 for 17 in this tournament with a double and an RBI. Little Rock looking to get the tying base runner here to the plate. 3-0 fastball at 91 in there at the knees. See if Rhodes has an aggressive swing in him here on 3-1. Instead, he takes ball 4 there. 90 on the fastball just off the plate. Nice take there. And just the third base runner to reach for Little Rock on Solis since the third inning. Tying run here coming to the plate. Trey Hill is the hitter. He's walked and struck out so far in this one. The senior fourth-year Trojan out of Farmington, Arkansas. First pitch swinging, high chopper to third. They'll go the short way, and they get Rhodes at second, and Hill able to beat it over there at first and break up the double play. Nice play by O'Connor and Wooster to get that force out. Hill going to trade places with Ty Rhodes at first base on a fielder's choice and keep this inning alive. And now it's Cooper Chaplin. He had a game-tying 2-run shot early against the Cougars in the afternoon game, and he represents the tying run here late on in this one. 2 outs in the inning. Trey Hill on first base. Chaplin 0 for 2 in this contest. A fly out to left and a strikeout swinging his last time in his lone meeting with Solis. He takes one in there for a strike at 83. I'm not sure Chaplin was too pleased with the first pitch strike call, but it's 0-1. Chaplin with 3 home runs in his career in this ballpark and an indecisive swing as he chases a slider there at 82. It's 0-2. Anthony Solis is 1 pitch away from 5 scoreless innings out of the bullpen for Eastern Illinois. 0-2 to Chaplin. He takes it off the plate. 84 on a changeup, and it's 1-2 now to Little Rock's left-handed hitting second baseman. Chaplin, the man who started all 61 games down the stretch last season, a single-season program record for Little Rock, trying to provide another clutch swing. 1-2, takes the changeup down low, makes the adjustment on an off-speed pitch below the zone. Chaplin, who's swinging it well in this tournament, 5 for 17, a triple, a home run, and 4 RBIs. The 2-2, fouled off. A changeup there. Chaplin a little out in front of it, but he's able to foul it into the back netting. Little Rock playing to keep their season alive here. It's already a historic campaign. Single season program record, 34 wins, but they're not satisfied. 2-2 to Chaplin out in front of another changeup. And I think a Panther might have wore that foul ball down there, or at least maybe just gotten out of the way. See a few blue jerseys smiling down there, so I think everybody okay on a ripped foul ball towards the home dugout. 2-2 once more. Trey Hill leading off of first. Chaplin the tying run. He takes a pitch off the plate. 93 on the fastball. Stone cold take from Cooper Chaplin, and it moves full. Action pitch upcoming. Trey Hill going to be on the move. 3 infielders on the right side. They think Chaplin's going to pull it to right field. Nobody holding Trey Hill on. He'll get the fresh early start. 3-2 pitch, pretty deep out towards the left field corner. Long run for Brett Stanley. He's on the warning track, and he brings it in a few steps in front of the wall. Cooper Chaplin, a matter of feet away from tying this game up at 3 here in the 7th. Instead, we'll stretch it out here at Mountain Dew Park with Little Rock down by 2. Back here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock trailing Eastern Illinois 3-1 here as we head to the home half of the 7th. Top of the order here, 4th time through for the Panthers and head coach Jason Anderson. Brett Stanley, James Love, Mike O'Connor due up. 4th time through. Stanley leading things off is 1 for 2, a triple back in the 3rd, and a walk his last time. This is his first look at the right-hander for Little Rock, still working. Blake Van Cleve for the Trojans. And he fires the first pitch breaker there, 76 off the plate to Stanley. Van Cleve came on in the 6th inning moments ago, picked up a big strikeout of Tyler Castro to escape a jam, and he has a fastball there just above the letters. It is 2-0 now to Brett Stanley. Remember, he came to Little Rock earlier this season on a nation-leading 31-game hitting streak, and he'll square around, pull it back, and take a ball at 87 just above the zone. Grad student from Township, Michigan, Stanley has proved impactful in this clash. He came around to score the third run of the game for Eastern, and he takes a strike there at the letters right at 86, and it's 3-1. Blake Van Cleve trying to keep this thing a 2-run game, keep Little Rock within striking distance. Getting late here. Bunting, pulling it back. Taking strike 2 is Stanley, and the count moved full. Panthers really hoping for a free pass there ahead in the count. Not going to happen on the first two after Van Cleve falls behind, and now it's full. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Stanley can't connect with the fastball in the outer half. It's the second strikeout for Blake Van Cleve out of the bullpen for the Trojans, and there's one down here in the home half of the seventh. Here is James Love now, right-handed hitting DH. Is 0 for 2 as he fouls the first pitch fastball into the back netting. Strikeout on the first, ground out in the third, and then a sacrifice bunt in the fifth on the play where the first base umpire, Ben Levin, surprisingly ruled him out of the baseline. Back at Van Cleve, nice reaction from the right-hander as he gloves it on a hop and underhands it to Cano over there at first. Blake Van Cleve showing off the athleticism. I tell you what, you get around a group of these Trojans, usually you ask them any sort of question and nobody can agree with one another. But if you ask them who's the most athletic Trojan on this team, you'll pretty much universally get the answer Blake Van Cleve. And it's been backed up. His dad all year has shown me clips of this guy playing just about every sport that you can think of growing up. Talking basketball, football, baseball. The guy played hockey. I've seen videos of the dude doing a tray flip on a skateboard. He was a gymnastics prodigy down there in Plano, Texas. And he makes a nice play hopping off the mound there on a one-hopper here. 2 down now in the home half of the seventh. 1-0 pitch well upstairs to the 3-hole hitter Mike O'Connor, who's been aboard all 3 times. Solo shot in the first, RBI single in the third. He stole a base in that third inning as well, and he was given the intentional pass back in the 5th inning. 2-0, and he chases a curveball below the zone there that bounces to Trey Hill. It's 2-1. Exactly the situation that Little Rock wants O'Connor here digging into. 2 outs and nobody on in this inning. They've got 3 infielders on the left side predicting O'Connor to pull. Curveball in there for strike 2. Trey Hill back there doing a little extra, making it look extra nice for Alex Ransom, the home plate umpire, perhaps stealing his right-hander. Strike 2 there. Van Cleve ready here, trying to get through the 7th. The 2-2 to O'Connor. He waves and misses as he gets O'Connor. Throw down from Trey Hill. That one's on the money. He cleans things up from the earlier error in the last game. And 2 strikeouts in the frame for Blake Van Cleve. He struck out 3 of the 4 hitters he's faced out of the pen. Hopefully it can translate here for Little Rock into some offense. They trail 3-1 down to their final 6 outs here at Mountain Dew Park. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Top of the order due up for Little Rock in the 8th. They trail Eastern 3-1 here. Trojans down to their final 6 outs of the year unless they can put together some hits and get back into this contest. They have been shut down by Anthony Solis. Right-hander still working for the Panthers. Has thrown 5 scoreless innings, given up just 2 hits and a walk, 2 strikeouts, and 58 pitches to do so. And he gets Lopez here to chase the first pitch fastball low. It's 0-1. Jordy Lopez, leadoff hitter for the Trojans. Offensive visit here. Head coach Chris Curry going to try and do something to slow down the rhythm of Anthony Solis, who's been getting whatever he wants up there on the mound here so far this evening. As the skipper with a quick meeting here, head coach Chris Curry, Conway High School graduate in Central Arkansas, has led Little Rock to 3 30-win seasons in their last 4 years, something that's never happened in program history. Well, there's been a lot of firsts in Little Rock baseball program history these last few years. Oh, 1 to Jurdy. He takes a fastball outside corner at 93. 0-2 now to Little Rock shortstop leadoff hitter. Trojans needing base runners here more now than ever. Breaking pitch out to center. Long run for the center fielder, Peters. It gets down. Lopez long turn. He'll hold for a single. Trojans going to bring the tying run to the plate in the 8th. Lopez firing up his dugout on the third base side. It's a multi-hit game for the Trojans shortstop. And who can back him up here? Cade Smith, the hitter. Already a multi-hit game for Smith. Little Rock's center fielder from Searcy, Arkansas. 2 for 3 day, a single in the first. He greeted Anthony Solis with a double down the left field line back in the third, and that's sharply hit. That's going to get down in front of the right fielder, Ethan Rossi. Little Rock finally getting something off of Anthony Solis. They have a runner in scoring position here, just the second runner in scoring position since the third inning when Solis came into the game. It's back-to-back hits for Little Rock, and the tying run now on base over at first. Situation tells you to bunt here, but you have your 3-hole hitter and one of your hottest bats, Nolan Friend, digging in. Friend in this tournament, well, he's 0 for 3 in this game, firstly, but he's 8 for 22 with 2 RBIs and 3 walks. Let's see if he squares around. Pickoff move over to second to check on Lopez. Eastern just trying to see if Friend squared around. He kept the bat on his shoulder there. We'll see what he does here with first and second, tying run at first base, nobody out. He'll keep it on his shoulder. He'll ground one to third, high hop, only play at first for O'Connor. He'll go there. So, hey, swinging bunt from Nolan Friend. He does a job. Both runners in scoring position, just one out, and Blake Simpson with an opportunity to tie things up in the 8th. Trojans seemingly with 2 chances here to find a base hit off of Solis and level the score. Here's Blake Simpson. He'll get the first crack at things. He is 1 for 2. He singled off of Solis out to left field as last time. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. And he takes the first pitch, a changeup in there at 83, one that Simpson was not particularly happy with. 0-1 count now to Little Rock's left fielder from Toronto, Canada. 0-1 pitch, able to watch the changeup low, and it's evened up 1-1. Simpson had 2 RBIs in Little Rock's win last night over the Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana, and he's got an opportunity to tie things up in the 8th. Trojans trailing 3-1, tying run, Cade Smith at second base. 1-1 pitch, it's back up the middle. Smith had a late read. He gets the send around. It's booted in center by Quade Peters. 2-run score. It's a 2 RBI knock for Blake Simpson, and Little Rock level at 3-3 in the 8th. The Trojans that just won't go away here in Marion this week. They level it in the 8th inning, finally getting something off of Anthony Solis. It's the first-year Trojan, the man who's been through so much in his collegiate career injury-wise. Blake Simpson, he came to the Missouri Tigers last year, was supposed to be a starting middle infielder for Carrick Jackson and the Tigers, suffered the injury, only was able to come to the plate 12 times for Missouri last year, ends up in Little Rock this season, and he went into the portal. He told Coach Curry that he didn't care where he played. He just wanted to find his way onto the field for opportunities like that right there. 2 RBI knock, and we've got a brand new game here in the 8th at Mountain Dew Park. Huge swing for Blake Simpson. He picks up RBI 20 and 21 on the campaign. It's his fifth and sixth RBI of this tournament, and Little Rock level things. And now Nico Bamba, who had 4 hits against SIUE in the early game today, digs in with an opportunity here for Little Rock in the 8th inning. Simpson a check over there on Blake over at first, and he hops right off the bag as soon as the ball gets back into the pitcher, Anthony Solis' hand. Right-handed Bamba waiting for the first pitch. He takes a slider off the plate. Bamba 4 for 5, 2 RBIs in the early game. He had a solo shot out to left field that opened the scoring against the Cougars. 1-0 pitch. That's on the ground to short. Could be 2. It's held up in the glove of the shortstop. Needs a pick at first, and they get it out of Tyler Castro. Boy, Castro has been great, and they stifle the rally here for Little Rock. But hey, the Trojans tie it up. They pick up 3 hits, 2 runs. They leave 1 stranded. Brand new game, 3 apiece, headed to the home half of the 8th here in Marion, Illinois. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois, Blake Simpson with the biggest swing of his Little Rock campaign ties things up 3-3 in the 8th. And boy, I tell you, Coach Curry not messing around now. He's going to the Friday starter, Brandon Westmoreland. The ace is on the hill. The right-hander from Haskell, Oklahoma, the first-year Trojan, the junior second-team All-OVC selection, getting his second appearance after he threw, 90 plus pitches just 3 days ago in the opening tournament matchup against Southern Indiana. Ace on the bump for Little Rock here in the 8th, with the Trojans all square facing elimination. Westmoreland has 6 pitches: fastball, sinker, cutter, slider, changeup, and the curve. When he's fully rested, the fastball can get up to 96. Now it's sitting about 91. He can go either direction. He's got the sinker that bears in on the right-handed hitter. He's got the cutter and the slider that can go away. Pretty good changeup as well. And the four-seamer that gets up into the mid-90s. But, of course, he's on the very limited rest. So Little Rock backs against the wall. They're going with their best arm, and it's 4-5-6 for the Panthers now. Chris Wooster, 0 for 3, a line out, a fly out, and a line out. He has hit the ball hard a couple times, but no success yet. And Westmoreland fires an 86-mile-an-hour cut fastball for strike 1. Velocity a little down for Westmoreland, as you'd expect. Little Rock's ace throwing 93 pitches just 3 days ago. And he throws another cut fastball. That one gets up to 88. It's low and off the plate, 1-1 here to Chris Wooster, the right-handed hitting second baseman for the Panthers here, as representing the go-ahead run in the home half of the 8th, all tied up. Hot ground ball to third base, sliding snare by Nolan Friend, and a stretch by Cano at first. What a play by Friend, and there's one down here in the home half of the 8th. Inspirational defense there by Nolan Friend, helping out his ace Westmoreland, and there's one down. Trojans trying to live another day and force the winner-take-all Sunday clash at noon tomorrow. Zach Goodwin, now left-handed hitter, 2 strikeouts for him. He's 0 for 3, flew out to left back in the second. Left-handed hitter there takes one inside. 1-0 now to the catcher for the Panthers. Westmoreland out of the windup, fires a sinker in there, outside corner. He's got up to 93 on that sinking fastball. Infield shading Zach Goodwin to pull here. Swing and a miss on a 91-mile-an-hour sinker. Brandon Westmoreland gets ahead 1-2 on Goodwin. Trojans trying to provide a shutdown inning after the 2 spot in the 8th. They want this thing all square headed to the final frame in the 9th. 1-2 from Westmoreland. Upstairs, fastball 92 and no chase from Goodwin. Count even. The second team all OVC selection, Brandon Westmoreland, somebody that head coach Chris Curry says has elite professional potential. One of the best pitchers in program history, according to Little Rock head coach Chris Curry. High praise considering the Trojans have produced 2 of the last 3 OVC pitchers of the year. Three-2 now to Goodwin. Westmoreland out of the windup. His pitch popped sky high on the infield. Jerdy Lopez, the shortstop, makes the call right over near second base, and he makes the play behind the bag for the second out in the home half of the 8th. Little Rock backs to the wall here, just as it's been since Thursday of this tournament. Peyton Wilson digging in now amidst a 1 for 3 day. He singled in the second, came around to score the Panthers' second run of this clash. 3-3, home half of the 8th. Little Rock trying to keep it square and give their hitters a chance in the 9th. First pitch, slider at 80, and it stands Peyton Wilson right up as he takes it on the inside corner for strike 1. Westmoreland showing good command of the sinker, the cutter, and the slider so far. 0-1 pitch. That's a cutter at 89, and it misses just low and off the plate. It's 1-1. Trey Hill getting a quick explanation from the home plate umpire, Alex Ransom, on that spot. No shift on the defense for Little Rock. 1-1 pitch, upstairs with 88. Another cut fastball from Westmoreland. It's 2-1 now to Peyton Wilson. 245 hitter Wilson, 7 doubles, 5 homers, 38 RBIs for the Panthers this season. Out of the windup, Westmoreland's 2-1, fouled out of the stadium here at Mountain Dew Park, out behind home plate. It's 2-2. Brandon Westmoreland, 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3-8. The 2-2, he got him swinging. Trey Hill has to throw down to first. It's on the money. Strikeout for Westmoreland, and he'll fire up his dugout on the third base side. 3-3, headed to the 9th at Mountain Dew Park in Marion. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Little Rock playing for their lives, trying to force a winner-take-all game, 13 in this OVC championships. I've lost track as things continue along. 3-3 Little Rock and Eastern. Top of the ninth, Angel Cano leading things off, an 0 for 3 days so far for the reigning Baton Rouge regional MVP. Anthony Solis still working for Eastern. He gets a foul ball out of Cano down the third base side. Angel Cano here, Little Rock's leading home run hitter and slugger this season. Little Rock just needing a base runner now as he chases an 0-1 changeup below the zone. 0-2 now to Little Rock's right-handed hitting first baseman from Cartagena, Colombia. Anthony Solis, he gave up 2 runs on the single from Blake Simpson an inning ago. 0-2 to Cano, and he takes one. He thought it was off the plate, but it's called strike 3, and he can't believe it. Backwards K for Solis to get this ninth underway. There's one down, and that'll bring Ty Rhodes to the plate. Rhodes, the fourth-year Trojan starter from Jonesboro in the east part of the state. He's 0 for 2 with a walk his last time up off of Solis. First pitch, rocket down the right side, but it goes foul, and it's 0-1. Rhodes, or Little Rock, really needing a hit here out of Ty Rhodes, the man with the third most hits in Little Rock program history, 225 of those. And he takes 91 on the outside corner for strike 2. Tell you, the right-hander Anthony Solis is fired up after that 2-run inning for the Trojans last time out. 0-2, that bounces, 6 or 8 feet in front of the plate there. Dangerous one for the backstop, Zach Goodwin, as it's off the shoulder pad and into the back netting. 1-2 now to Ty Rhodes. 3 infielders on the right side. Panthers playing Rhodes to pull. Solis is 1-2. Fouled off the front foot of Rhodes. We'll do it again. The man from Jonesboro, Arkansas. His dad played for Arkansas State. They grew up going to games together. The former coaching staff under Tommy Raffo never gave him a look. His dad played Legion ball with head coach Chris Curry, so Trojans offered him a scholarship by the time he was a sophomore in high school, and the rest is history. 1-2 to Rhodes. Slider into the vacated shortstop position and out into left center field. He goes against the shift, and the Trojans have the go-ahead run on in the ninth. And an immediate pinch runner here, Michael O'Brien, the speedster, the Mississippi State transfer, is on first base now. Ty Rhodes does his job. His first hit of the night might be the most important swing for Little Rock here down the stretch. And defensively, if I had to guess, Cade Smith would probably move to right field. Michael O'Brien is pretty much exclusively a center fielder with the speed. How aggressive are they with him here early in the count? Solis comes set. Trey Hill is at the plate. O'Brien stays put, and Trey Hill takes strike 1, 90 miles an hour on the fastball. Hill is 0 for 2 with a walk back in the second. He has struck out and grounded out against Solis. O'Brien stays put once again. That one off the plate. Boy, I tell you, that looked like the similar spot to the pitch that he rung up Angel Cano on, our home plate umpire there, Alex Ransom. But hey, I'm just glad it's a ball this time. 1 on, 1 out. O'Brien stays put. Hill swings over the top of 83. Anthony Solis, who has been on the mound for the Panthers since the 3rd inning, trying to get through the 9th. Go-ahead run on first for Little Rock. 1-2. Sky high, straightaway right field. Now towards the line goes Ethan Rossi, and he'll make the catch in fair territory by a few steps. There's 2 down now on the F9 by Trey Hill. And here comes Cooper Chaplin, the man who opened his day with a 2-run homer against SIUE. Out to right field, digging in out of the 9-hole for Little Rock. The man with 3 career home runs here at Mountain Dew Park in his 2 years here in Little Rock. Go ahead run, Michael O'Brien, good speed at first base. When does he go? Pickoff move, and he dives back safely. When does O'Brien test the arm of Zach Goodwin? You have to think after they pinch ran for Ty Rhodes that he'll go at some point here with now 2 outs in this 9th inning. Solis to the plate. He stays put over there, O'Brien. And Cooper Chaplin takes the first pitch, change up low and outside. It's 1-0 to the second-year Trojan. Chaplin, who had such a frustrating year, he'll tell you that this season, could amend all of that here. Backdoor slider, and that one catches the corner from Solis at 80. 1-1 now. Go ahead run on first base. 2 outs in the 9th inning for Cooper Chaplin. Michael O'Brien takes off. It's a low changeup, the perfect pitch to run on, and he gets himself into scoring position. Stolen base for OB as he gets himself to second, his 9th stolen base of the year. And Cooper Chaplin, a single will do a job now in the 9th. Solis is 2-1. Backdoor slider. That one misses at 80. Similar place to the prior one called for a strike. But it's 3-1 to Cooper Chaplin. Jordy Lopez, amidst a 2-hit day, waits on deck. Solis is 3-1. Fouled into the glove there of Zach Goodwin. Change up. Chaplin was out in front of it. Count is full. 3-3, top 9. Trojans backs to the wall. 3-2. And Cooper Chaplin lays off of it. He works the 2-out walk. Little Rock with 2 on and 2 out as the order flips back to Jordy Lopez for his 5th at-bat here in this one. Lopez 7 for 22 in this tournament with a double and 3 RBIs. He is 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. He's 1 for 2 off of Solis. He jumped on an early count pitch his last time up. We'll see how aggressive he is early in the count here. Go-ahead runner is at second base, Michael O'Brien. Lopez does swing at the first one, and he fouls the 93-mile-an-hour fastball off out behind home plate and out of play. O'Brien on at second, Chaplin on at first, 2 outs in the 9th. The 0-1 to Lopez off the plate with the 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Anthony Solis for Eastern Illinois is up near 90 pitches out of the bullpen for the Panthers. The 1-1 to Lopez lays off the low changeup. Trojans need a base hit now more than ever. A single gives them the lead here in the 9th. Pitch number 90 home from Anthony Solis. Turned around, back up the middle. It gets through into center field. Michael O'Brien's going to come around to score. It's an RBI single for Jordy Lopez. And the Trojans, for the first time all evening, lead over Eastern Illinois. It's a 3-hit day for Jordy Lopez against the Panthers, and the Trojans all of a sudden are 3 outs away from forcing a winner-take-all finale here tomorrow at noon. Two on and 2 out. Here's Cade Smith. He swings at the first pitch he sees, pops it right side, foul territory, going and watching this one, and just about 2 rows out of the reach of Tyler Castro as it gets out of play. It's 0-1 to Cade Smith. Trojans rallying for 2 runs in the 8th, 1 here in the 9th. They were down to their final 6 outs of their season, and now they're 3 outs away from forcing the finale tomorrow. 0-1 to Smith. Takes it downstairs. I tell you what, the Trojans have really figured out that Solis changeup here down in these late innings. They've been able to take that one low, and it's opened things up for their hitters. 2 on, 2 out. Trojans up 4-3. Smith chases that changeup, though, as Solis goes right back to it, and now Eastern 1 out away from getting out of this spot of bother, just down a run. Smith, it's already a 3-hit day against these Panthers. 2 of those coming against this right-hander Solis. 1-2 home, breaking pitch upstairs, and it's 2-2 now to the Searcy, Arkansas product, Cade Smith. Good speed aboard the bases. Chaplin on second, Lopez on first. The 2-2 to Smith. He takes it downstairs, and the count moves full with Nolan Friend waiting on deck for Little Rock. Panthers have rocked with Anthony Solis all the way since the 3rd inning. And he's reaching the finish line now. Runner's going to have a little head start. The 3-2, he gets Smith swinging. Second strikeout in this inning and 4th for Solis in the contest, but Little Rock rally with the RBI single for Lopez, and Brandon Westmoreland, their ace, out to try and close things. Trojans up 1, headed to the bottom of the 9th at Mountain Dew Park. Back here inside Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Brandon Westmoreland, Little Rock's Friday starter and ace all season long, is on to try and pick up a save here with Little Rock leading 4-3 in the home half of the 9th. Bottom third of the order up for the Panthers. Ethan Rossi, Quade Peters, Tyler Castro. The right-handed Rossi digging in amidst an 0-for-2 day so far. Sack bunt his first time, and he takes strike 1 in there at 92 on the inner half. It's 0-1. Brandon Westmoreland with a 1-2-3-8. He wants to pick up the 2-inning save here. First time all season he's been in a spot like this, with the Trojans having been facing elimination all the way since back on Thursday. Little Rock trying to win their 4th game here in 3 days to force the finale tomorrow. 1-1 to Rossi. Outside corner with the cut fastball at 87. He gets ahead 1-2. Little Rock so close to the finish line here, trying to knock off the 1 and 2 seed in the same day. 1-2 from Westmoreland. Deep drive out to right field. Austin Coyle ranging over. He's got room, and he makes the play in front of the warning track. 1 down in the home half of the 9th as Coyle brings it in. The right fielder from Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada, on for defensive help from head coach Chris Curry, and he ranges over. It makes a fairly routine play towards the corner. Little Rock 2 outs away now from forcing the winner-take-all matchup against these Panthers at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Quade Peters is the hitter. He's been aboard all 3 times, 2 singles and a hit by pitch. He swings at the first one, fouls 93 down the right side. He was behind the opening pitch. Peters, a 350 hitter out of this 8-hole. He has provided a spark out of the bottom of the order for Jason Anderson all season long. 23 runs driven in, more walks than strikeouts. The 0-1 misses downstairs. Sinker at 93 with no chase. Brandon Westmoreland, the first-year Trojan, chance to stamp his mark here in Little Rock history with a save here to force the finale. 1-1 is a cut fastball right on the outside corner. He gets ahead of Quade Peters 1-2. Can the Trojans get to the finish line here on Saturday? The 1-2, back up the middle, past Cooper Chaplin's dive at second. Eastern Illinois are going to get the game-tying run here on base in the ninth inning. 1 on and 1 out, and Peters can fly over there. He's already stolen second twice here tonight. And you know the Panthers are going to try and be aggressive with him here. Tyler Castro, left-handed hitting first baseman, is 0 for 3 so far tonight. And he digs in here. Tying run on at first base, that's Quade Peters. Check from Brandon Westmoreland over there on Peters. He dives back safely. Little Rock trying to make sure that they make it difficult on Peters to try and make it into scoring position here in this ninth inning. Winning run at the plate for the Panthers, Castro. Peters stays put. First pitch, cutter, 88, low and inside. 1-0 to Castro. You got the top of the order for the Panthers waiting on deck and their leadoff man, Brett Stanley. So you really want to attack right here. Season on the line for Little Rock. Peters stays put. The 1-0, that's inside. Cut fastball again, 87, same result. It is 2-0 now to Tyler Castro. Could be a real good pitch to hit now with the Trojans and Westmoreland behind 2-0 on the winning run at the plate, Castro. Peters stays put, 2-0. That misses inside. 93 on a sinker. Westmoreland going to have to fight all the way back here from dropping behind 3-0. What a spot here. Brandon Westmoreland, the Friday starter all season long for the Trojans, trying to pick up a 2-inning save. Peters breaks, comes back, and ball 4 up and in with 92. Walk issued to Castro. And the winning run is on base. The tying run is in scoring position here. Panthers have the table set, and the Trojans pitching coach Evan Lee is out there to have a chat with Brandon Westmoreland. Tension palpable here at Mountain Dew Park. Everybody is nervous, whether you're an Eastern or Little Rock fan. The Panthers do not want to have to play this Little Rock team tomorrow. The Trojans, with 15 seniors on their roster, not even wanting to think about their season ending here tonight. Brett Stanley here at the plate. Tying run, Quade Peters at second. Go ahead and winning run, Tyler Castro's at first. Stanley is 1 for 3 with a triple back in the third inning. This is his first meeting here with Brandon Westmoreland. First pitch popped up right field towards the corner. Austin Coyle going to watch it get out of play down there as it goes foul. It's 0-1 now on Brett Stanley. Little Rock 2 outs away from forcing the winner-take-all Sunday clash tomorrow at noon. Brandon Westmoreland looking for a ground ball here to try and end things. Good speed on the bases for Eastern and good speed at the plate as well. It would have to be hit pretty firm if Little Rock want to roll up a double play. And now Nico Bomba going to jog out there with a new pitch comm device for Brandon Westmoreland to make sure he can hear the pitch calls from the pitching coach Evan Lee down in the third base dugout. Trojans up by one. Tying run at second. Off the hands there. Shallow center field. Long run for Cooper Chaplin. And a great play by Little Rock second baseman as he's able to make the play in shallow center. Second out here. Little Rock 1 out away from forcing the winner-take-all clash on Sunday, tomorrow here. James Love, last hope here for the Panthers tonight. Tying run in scoring position at second, winning run at first base for the Panthers. Trojans are 1 out away from staying the distance here and forcing that clash tomorrow. Brandon Westmoreland's first pitch to Love, outside corner at 88. Westmoreland gets ahead. Oh, 1 off the bat there. Foul ball on 93 on a sinker. Brandon Westmoreland ahead of James Love, 0-2. Little Rock's ace, 1 strike away. Little Rock, who were down to their final 6 outs, they rallied in the 8th and the 9th. Panthers have the tying run at second base. That's Quade Peters, the go-ahead winning run. Castro at first. Westmoreland's 0-2. Up and off the plate, 94. Westmoreland reaching back for a little bit extra there, but he can't find the zone. One, two to Love. On the ground to short. Lopez has it. He'll go the short way to second in time. They get the force. Little Rock have knocked off the 1 and 2 seeds all in a day's work, and they'll play for the OVC title tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Brandon Westmoreland with a 2-inning save. All hands on deck for this Little Rock pitching staff. They've done the unthinkable. After dropping down into the losers bracket on Thursday, they've come all the way back to go 5-1 in this tournament and force the winner-take-all game as Little Rock tries to make it back-to-back regionals for the first time in program history. Championship Sunday set up here between these Little Rock Trojans and the Eastern Illinois Panthers. And what a matchup that will be. We're going to step aside here for just a moment. We'll put a bow on things, give you all the numbers you need to know about this matchup, preview tomorrow, although who knows who's going to go for either of these sides. What a first matchup it was, and what a matchup we expect it to be tomorrow. Little Rock take it 4-3, and the Trojans force the winner-take-all game for a regional appearance tomorrow. Back inside Mountain Dew Park here in Marion, Illinois, Little Rock Trojans have not gone away all week long after dropping into the lower bracket on Thursday with a loss against the top seed regular season champion SIUE Cougars. They come back here on Saturday after winning against Lindenwood on Thursday, Southern Indiana yesterday. They show up to Mountain Dew Park today for a full day's work. And not only do they get revenge on the regular season champion Cougars, knocking SIUE out of the tournament, they pick up the game one victory over the Panthers of Eastern Illinois. Little Rock with a 4-3 come from behind victory here. Trojans were down to their final 6 outs. Some timely hitting. They opened up the 8th with back-to-back singles from Jordy Lopez and Cade Smith at the top of the order. And then the left fielder from Toronto, Blake Simpson, with a 2 RBI knock. That leveled things. Lopez, what a clutch hitter he is. The shortstop from the Dominican Republic with a 3-hit night tonight, and the big one coming in the top of the 9th as they pick up the 4-3 victory on the RBI knock. It was a good start out there. Malcolm Brown set the tone, 2 innings, and then Josh Beasley shut down the Panthers. 3 2/3 for Josh Beasley, just 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts for Bees. Blake Van Cleve comes in, goes an inning and a third scoreless. That's great work. And then Brandon Westmoreland picks up the victory. Little Rock's Friday ace comes in for a 2-inning closeout appearance, gives up just 1 hit and 1 walk, strikes out a Panther, and closes things down. Little Rock have been here with their backs to the wall for 3 days now. They have not faltered one bit. And what a matchup we expect between these two sides here for a regional appearance and a regional berth at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Westmoreland gets the win. He moves to 6-2 on the campaign. Anthony Solis moves to 4-4 as he picks up the loss despite Solis going 7 innings in relief. Looking ahead to tomorrow, I mean, it is all hands on deck. If you're a Trojan fan, you're really glad that Solis threw 96 pitches tonight. He's done for the finale tomorrow. But you do expect the Panthers to have their ace back. OVC Pitcher of the Year, Bryce Riggs, the junior from Cicero, Indiana, probably won't start tomorrow. He may, but he will certainly, or almost certainly, play a big role. The big news for Little Rock, I'm sure Brigden Parker, their Saturday starter this season, will have a say. Nick Bronzini, I'm sure, will also be back in the mix for pitching coach Evan Lee and these Trojans. Little Rock, they've rocked with the same 9 this whole tournament. These guys have showed up ready to work each and every day here, and Little Rock now just 1 win away from making it back-to-back regional appearances for the first time in program history. They improved their already single-season record win tally now to 35 on the campaign. They moved to 35-26. Eastern Illinois dropped to 33-20 on the season. And what a matchup it's going to be tomorrow with a regional berth on the line between these two sides. Thanks for watching and listening to some baseball here from Mountain Dew Park in Marion, Illinois. Max Coltrane, glad to have you along. We'll be back at 12 o'clock. Have to see, not sure exactly just yet what the Razorbacks and what the Travelers are doing tomorrow, whether we'll be on 103.7 The Buzz, 106.7 The Buzz 2, or back here streaming on the social platforms. But look out for the socials here tonight. We'll let you know, keep you updated on that finale tomorrow at 12. Trojans take it 4-3. Finale tomorrow at noon. Little Rock with a chance to go back to the postseason for the second straight year.